I flipped the screen around on the camera because it's only Jim and I out here in L.A. We're live, by the way, from Los Angeles.
Just the two of us out here in the land of milk and honey.
And so I flipped the screens around on the video cameras so we could monitor them.
Sure.
But now Jim is just coyly smiling.
What's wrong with that? I'd like to see how I look on camera.
Yeah, it's fine.
I've never seen myself radioing.
What are you talking about?
Just watching myself like a panther prowling the studio with ideas and thoughts and jokes. Yes, I am. Ready to spit at the audience, earn my pay.
Panthers don't spit.
Well, they do, theoretically.
It's a snake, not a panther.
It's a metaphor.
For what?
Just
for being an asshole?
Radioing. No.
Oh, I see.
Just catching myself.
I see. Well, welcome to Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.
I just realized how lucky you are to have the view you have every day.
I've never. It's so weird. And maybe it's my own privilege that I have to keep in check. I've never considered myself lucky.
You know, it's funny. This studio, we kind of fought and pushed to fly 3,000 miles and sit in a shoebox. We're idiots.
Well, that's why when we first started the trip to L.A., I knew that we do not have a lot of space in Los Angeles, and so when it was first pitched to us, they're like, "Look, there might be a day or two where you have to use one of the small studios." I went, no, because this studio that we're in now, this is one of the big studios.
Yeah.
And it's still, like, it's a corner.
Yeah, it is a corner. And
it's about the size of the Teft box.
It really is, yeah. Travis, lollygags, not realizing how good he has it back in New York, but we are in a studio the size of the Teft box.
The size of the Teft box, yeah.
I also, this is different. When I was out here years ago, Troy was with me. I interviewed Bill Ward from Black Sabbath. That's probably 6 years ago now, maybe more. And I thought that this was still the same location, the old location. I didn't realize that they had moved. They moved into a slightly bigger, but it's still not like New York. It's weird. Usually you won't have more real estate in New York than you have in L.A. because it's cheaper out here than it is in Manhattan. They're on 6th Avenue in Manhattan.
I guess because, as far as Manhattan real estate goes, it's ridiculous. But New York is the #1 radio market. So if they're going to do a radio company, I guess New York is where they want their biggest footmark, right?
Yeah, but the size of this is much
smaller.
Like the whole floor would have been acceptable, or half the floor.
Right.
But this is, I don't like complaining. I don't really care.
It's just an observation.
The kitchen is tiny.
Is it?
Yeah, if there's one thing I like, and Sam knows this, it's a big kitchen.
Well, Jim likes to know that there's a spot where he can go to rest.
And relax and have some treats.
He feels like, by the way, your treats. Here's the thing. I can't wait until this honeymoon period of this show is over, because we're spending far too much time together.
That's okay. It's what happens with radio/life partners. They spend time together.
Yeah, far too much. And by the way, that's not how I classify myself.
What? As a person?
Radio/life, yeah.
But we have to travel together. I mean, when we're doing a radio promotion, I didn't do it for the last 2 years. Opie and I didn't really go out and promote anywhere.
Right.
So it's fun to be doing it.
Look, I'm glad to be doing it.
Sure.
And it's fun to travel. But Jim, we go to the airport, and Jim gets excited because he has a satchel full of these stupid protein bars that he's so happy about because they're very difficult to find. I mean, how many did you buy? 15?
I bought $64 worth because it's hard to eat right when you're on a plane. Guys, I hate to make this all about my body. No, these fucking things, the RX bars, which I like, they're very clean as far as what's in them. It's not even Quest bars. I think they're a little bit cleaner than Quest bars. They're hard to find.
$64 worth of these tiny little bars
for the week, because now I'm going to eat them instead of eating like shit. We're in a hotel. Sam and I are up. We're playing grab ass all night, so I want to eat something healthy in the morning, but there's nothing to order.
You need energy.
I need energy.
I get that. I don't
want to snack.
But he shows me the wrapper of it. He's like, "Doesn't this look good?" And this is the ingredients of Jim's fun snack: egg whites, almonds, cashews, and dates.
That's right. No one says almonds, by the way.
Almonds.
It's a band.
Almonds.
And their brothers. Almonds. It says
there's an L in that.
No.
Almonds.
You forgot the last line, the best line, Sam. 3 egg whites, 6 almonds, 4 cashews, 2 dates, no BS. No bullshit.
That's right. That's right, because most of the time you see these guys, they're eating their Snickers, they're eating their Twix. What's in them? A bunch of bullshit. Yeah.
They're eating bad stuff. So I like these because they're like, when I'm going to have a meal replacement, these are okay. So I found a bunch in the airport, and I was fucking excited.
Jim is sitting on the plane, and what I like to do at the airport, go, get some fucking greasy food, and bring it on the plane.
Yeah.
Whether it's McDonald's, whether it's whatever. I think yesterday it was cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Because it's all they had.
That's all they had.
But Jim's like, oh, doesn't this look good? And he pulls out
my dick.
And I said, now that you mention it, he pulls out a little pouch of meat.
Yeah, meat. Oh, those little, they're called Epic, and they have little meat bars, and they have little pouches where they're like two treats. Like half the thing will have like these coconut shavings, and the other half will have like cured bacon or whatever. Ugh. No, but it's there's no sugar added, no salt. They're fucking great.
It's like a Dunkaroos for dorks.
I don't know what a Dunkaroos is.
Well, that classifies you right there. So he's got his little. He's like, look, you can mix your fake pouched bacon.
Oh, it's the realest bacon you can get, buddy.
With what was it, like horseshoe something or what was
whatever the little trail mix treat was, but it was delicious. It smelled good, didn't it? You admitted it smelled good.
I mean, it smelled fine.
I put my fingers in my ass and I held them under Sam's nose, and he thought it was the bacon treat. It smelled good.
It does smell good. And then the other thing that Jim had with him was literally a meat bar.
Yeah, Epic meat bar.
It's this shrink wrapped. It looks like a bar of soap that you get from an expensive store, like a natural bar of soap. But it's this shrink-wrapped pink bacon meat bar.
Yeah, they're not as good to me as the RX bars. They're good, though, because they taste like you're eating real food. And for a meal replacement, they're very good. But on a plane, look, it's hard to not eat like a fuck. So I try to eat those if I can.
But then you got the plane food, too.
Yeah, but all I ate was the chicken and a little salad. I don't go crazy. I don't eat a dessert. Yeah. I don't snack. JetBlue is great because they have like this little fucking thing set up where you can just go and grab free Cokes, free Diet Cokes, and free they have a few free blue chips. What's that? And a few other things.
So you have to pack enough meat bars so the temptation doesn't get to you.
Yeah, sure. It's just 5.5 hour flight.
Right.
A lot of laughter, a lot of love shared. A lot of good conversation.
There was no good conversation.
Sam kept annoying me. He kept pushing. Every time we were in JetBlue Mint, and we were every time I would doze off, I would fucking feel the shit vibrator thing on my chair because stupid kept pushing the massage feature on my chair.
Jim had to sleep in a very tense fashion.
Yeah,
because he had to put a big thing of garbage in front of the buttons where you can push it to turn the massage chair on. And then put his hand over it.
Yeah, it was very uncomfortable. So he couldn't tinker with my chair.
That's what you get for having a massage chair on an airplane.
I don't really go for the massage chairs. And I've been on them where you can't turn them off, where there's like a malfunction, and the whole fucking ride, it's like having a creepy friend. It's like I feel like a woman with a creepy guy friend, just gently massaging you in the small of your back. It's unnecessary.
You think I would have enjoyed if the massage function had not turned off on your chair?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that have happened to me on planes that would have really brought you great joy yesterday. Like one time the seat deflated, because JetBlue seats are, a lot of them are old cushions or like leather, but the JetBlue ones inflate, but you really can't tell. But one time I was on a flight and the fucking air came out of it, so you're basically sitting like on it was a piece of metal with just a covering. So they eventually fixed it, but yeah, I'm sure that would have been, you'd have been pleased as punch.
You would have been so annoyed by it. You should have seen. I mean, for somebody that travels as much as you had no idea how to use anything in your chair yesterday.
I didn't really. I was a little lost, but
he really did have an old man vibe about him.
I didn't know how to do it.
Jim was sitting there. It probably took a good 15 minutes, I would say.
Well, this touchscreen was fucking broken.
It wasn't working. All he wanted to do was turn off his monitor.
Yeah.
And all he would get was just giggles from me as he just kept poking.
But that wasn't my fault.
And the same shit kept coming out.
It was broken, though. That was fucked up. That wasn't doing what it was supposed to do.
Was the table broken, too?
No. Wow, I was using that to block so I didn't have to look at you. I didn't know how to lower the table, so I opened it. And it did take me a few minutes to get it open.
The stewardess had to come and help you.
So what?
With the table.
That's her job. Hey, get over here, bitch.
It's just great when you're sitting up in the front of the plane and the stewardess goes like, oh, have you sat in JetBlue Mint before? And then Jim goes, yes. And I know he has, but then to watch the stewardess walk over and realize that he doesn't know how to turn off his monitor, he doesn't know how to unfold his table, it really did come across as somebody who was experiencing it for the first time.
No, I understand. It was humbling. That's why people like me, because they feel I have a humility that and I'm saying in air quotes, average guy can relate to.
That's so much fun.
Yeah, they like my averageness. But once we get the table down, it was really fun.
Yeah.
It was really fun. I opened it up. Pow! I kept opening it. It was really good. Good times.
It was good times. There was one moment when you sit up in the front of the plane, they give you shit. They give you free shit.
Yeah.
And so they have like a box of free sample products and
lotions
and whatnot. And so they give you a little towel, the hot towel, and then handed a box of lotions. And I said, "Oh, thank you." And then she handed one to the man I thought was Jim. But as it turned out, it was Chip, because Chip just earnestly looked up at the flight attendant and went, "How much?
How much is that? How much?"
And she goes, "What did you say?
How much is it?" She's like, "It's complimentary."
Yeah, she goes, "Everything up here is complimentary. It's complimentary." "Oh, okay."
Yeah, Sam had to tolerate fucking 5.5 hours of Chip across country.
Anybody that's been following us on social media at Jim and Sam Show across Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and Snapchat have probably seen a lot of the videos that Chip put out. But yeah, traveling with Chip is not relaxing or restful or fun.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
It is. I can understand how that would be a draining thing in public, to not want to have to deal with that or to be pestered while you're on the plane. But I couldn't sleep.
Right.
I couldn't get fucking comfortable on that dumb plane.
You slept for the beginning of the flight.
I slept a little while. I slept for probably an hour and a half.
Yeah. And then finally, I started to doze off. And within probably, 25 minutes, I had a fucking cell phone light in my eyes.
I didn't mean to wake you.
You didn't?
No, it was an accident.
Because Chip loudly asked if I was sleeping and called me babe.
You sleeping, babe?
And by the way, when Jim becomes Chip, there's no sort of if Jim were making a joke to me on a flight, he would say it very, very quietly as to not disturb the rest of the passengers. When Chip wants to make an observation or wants to make a video or wants to say something, there is nothing quiet about him. He was a disturbance to everybody in the cabin.
Yeah, and I don't know why I forget that people still see me as Jim, because I'm not thinking that way in that moment, and I forget someone who would know that, oh, that's Jim Norton. But what an asshole this guy is.
He is an asshole.
It's not meant to be. It's meant to be good-natured.
If you want to call us up, we're live in L.A. Here in the 11 a.m. On the East Coast time slot. 866-969-1969 is our phone number. 866-969-1969.
And we got a bunch of promotion out here. We're not just flying out here just to fucking vacation. Last night was a nice... Tony Hinchcliffe reached out.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was doing a podcast, but we got a request to come and do the Kill Tony at the Comedy Store. Which was nice. It was nice to have something to do when we got into town promotion. We got a bunch of stuff promotion-wise. We're doing Corolla. We're doing Bert's podcast, Fitzsimmons, just a bunch of
And here in
great
Sirius,
podcasts.
we're doing Jude and Ellis, and we're doing stuff pretty much every day while we're here.
Yeah. And, it's about just getting the word out of the new morning show.
It's going to be a busy, busy week.
Yeah.
A busy, busy week, but it should be fun. Did you enjoy? So we'll talk to Tony Hinchcliffe, by the way, will be in here this morning.
He's a funny guy.
Or this afternoon.
Yeah, it was enjoyable. I had never heard his podcast before. And it's where they get young comics to come up. And I know Ronnie does something like that. Bennington does something like that. And, again, we had Car Crash Comedy. It's a concept that people have done before where guys just come up and do stand-up. But it was a fun way they did it. Red Band, who's Rogan's guy, was kind of on the soundboard. And he's got a couple of guys in a band there. So these new comedians come up. They draw from a hat. It's very fair. They put their names in a bucket. L.A. is very competitive for comedians.
It is.
Because there's much fewer clubs than in New York. So out here, man, you got fucking 50 names in that hat trying to get on Tony's
just
podcast.
To get 5 minutes.
1 minute.
1 minute for the podcast, yeah.
And the way you work it is, the comedian goes up and they do 1 minute. Oh, and also fucking Earl Skakel, who's a very funny stand-up.
He was on Roast Battle for
the
that
Earl's really funny, and he's kind of a twisted, deadpan, weird guy. Very, very funny dude. And they come up and they do 1 minute of uninterrupted material, and then we critique them after. And I'm not good at being shitty to young comics. I feel weird doing it, unless they're really fucked up or they annoy me. But I'm like, I don't want to be. But you could critique them and talk to them, and you don't have to kill them if you don't want to. So it was fun, man. I really liked it.
It was fun, and we'll talk about that more. He's coming in, so we'll talk about that more with him. We also have Carrie Keegan coming in this morning. Who's going to be
my ex. It's kind of cool to be seeing her again.
You didn't date Carrie Keegan?
Oh.
We're gonna have her on. She's got a book coming out. She's going to be on Celebrity Apprentice.
Did you enjoy it last night?
Yeah, the Kill Tony thing. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I didn't say much, but I didn't think it was necessary for me to say much.
Why were you quiet?
Because everybody else was talking.
Okay.
I don't need to compete for it. You know, I was having a good time.
Yeah, it was enjoyable.
I was enjoying you and Earl and Tony's hilarious. And
yeah, Tony was good. He ran a good show. I don't know Tony's stand-up. I just know him through Rogan.
Well, his Netflix special is great.
Is it good?
Yeah, and he did it all in one shot. Like, there's no cuts.
What do you mean?
Like, literally, like the camera, there are no cuts. The camera moves, so it's not just on a tripod, but it doesn't cut at all.
I wonder why he did that. Was it a conscious decision, or was it they had a couple of cameras? Or
No. It was a stylistic.
Oh, it was like
choice.
A long shot. Okay.
Yeah, it was just like one long shot. It was like the Birdman of comedy.
That's crazy, though. I would love to ask him about that. We're going to see him today.
We're going to get to.
Yeah, because I wonder if he taped 2 shows and decided to use one. That's a risk to take. Cutting is hard, like, because I don't like audience in my specials.
Well, luckily, most of your shows don't have one. So.
Oh no, they do. I swear,
don't think
dude,
so.
Fucking packed to the rafters. But I don't
guy
like,
with no self-deprecating ability.
Yeah, no, dude, fucking crazy lines.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
It's a huge crowd.
Yeah. You know, if you got to, yeah, there was so what happens is I shoot head on, and it's usually black in the crowd. The lights are out, so that's why one thing Comedy Central does, where they get like the audience shots. You're like, why are they doing that? Sometimes it's an edit point where you just want to cut from one show to the other, and it does help to have a few crowd shots.
Yeah,
and I'm actually doing a little bit of crowd work in my act now, so I'm going to probably have to have a couple. So I'm talking to the crowd a little bit more than I did.
Yeah,
and it's hard to do without that, so we usually have to cut from the back. So to not cut at all for one whole show,
it's crazy.
It's a big risk. Either that, it was a budget thing where they only shot one show, or they shot 2, and he said, fuck it, I'm going one complete show.
Well, no, I mean, it's definitely not a budget thing. It's definitely like a specific choice, because it's not like it costs. You could have one floating cam, one hard cam. It's not going to cost that much more money.
Well, how many cameras do they use? Was it 2 camera shoot?
No, it's one. There's no cuts.
Well, then it might have been budget. There's a difference in the budget between an 8 camera shoot and a 1 camera shoot. We'll ask him. Maybe a combination.
Yeah.
If it's for Netflix, you know what? You're probably right. For Netflix, it's probably just a decision.
Because it's a specific. I mean, it's a stylistic thing.
I wonder if he shot it and then sold it to Netflix, or if Netflix shot it. Why am I asking all these questions?
He shot
and then
it.
not waiting for Tony?
It's a pre-interview.
Because Netflix probably wouldn't have approved that.
Right.
Even though it came out well, apparently.
He shot it, and Netflix bought it.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, we work these things out now, so we don't have to bother Tony when he comes in.
Right. It'd be funny if I was giving you all wrong information. He's like, no, it's a 3-camera shoot, and Netflix paid for it.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Yeah, that's totally wrong.
What are you talking about? Here's what we're going to do. There's a new thing we're doing. If Sam says something I don't like, it's called, and this is not a sponsorship, but it's called the RX Shake.
Oh, stop doing that.
I didn't mean to hit the windscreen, and I'm so happy it happened.
You're just so excited that you have all this.
Do you not like that?
Fucking no. All your bars.
Yes, I do.
Speaking of Chip, I also don't know. Like, this is where I know it's mental illness. Like, we're driving. So last night was Halloween, obviously.
Yes.
And we're right there in downtown LA.
I had some observations.
I'm not leading you into it.
Thank you. No, I appreciate that.
I'm not leading you into your stupid observation.
They were good. We were walking around, and there was just everybody was dressed in costumes. I said, boy, just another Monday in LA.
He was doing this all night, and he kept telling me, lead me into that tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
And it's just a bad Carson impression.
No, it's not.
Doing jokes that aren't funny.
That was a good joke.
No, it wasn't.
They're all walking around vomiting, and I said, oh my God, it's just like every Thursday in LA.
Why are you talking like that? And he just did the same joke, but a different day of the week.
I have 7 shots at it.
But, so they closed off a big portion of the city for this parade that they were doing.
Yeah.
And so the drive to the hotel was a pain in the ass.
It was great until we got to fucking like 3 blocks. We were literally, do you know where we were yesterday when we had to make the right?
Yeah.
We were 3 blocks, like 3 avenues shy of getting her.
Right. And then we had to go all the way around and go down, and there's bad traffic and the whole deal.
Yeah, up to Sunset was a motherfucker.
But Jim, and this is where it gets crazy, was going back and forth from being frustrated Jim, who's like kind of antsy about time, like, oh, we're going to get there, like, make this right, make this left, but to any time there was a car that was going fast or stopping short, frustrated Jim would somehow disappear, and Chip would just come out and go, damn!
Yeah. Every time someone on the road made a questionable decision, damn! He's going to get us killed.
You know? Yeah, but you would just, like, literally 20 seconds before.
Yeah.
You had been like, oh, you know, we got to make this turn. I don't know. We're taking so long to get. Damn!
Yeah, it was really stupid.
It's really weird.
It's fun.
Yeah, but how do you, like, leave yourself as a frustrated person and go into this idiot?
I don't know, the same thing that has made it impossible for a healthy relationship to be maintained. You know, it's got its ups and its downs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the way, I think. But it was a fun trip in, except for the ride to the hotel, because Halloween. We're not far from Santa Monica Boulevard. And we were going to walk down and watch the parade.
Whoa, don't give them too much information.
Well, we're not too far below Santa Monica Boulevard.
Just saying, we got to watch out for the paparazzi.
Oh, I understand. I understand. Believe me. And we wanted to go to the parade last night, but it was the Comedy Store was so much fun, and we just walked back after. And I saw a friend of mine, and Sam and I went out and ate, and the three of us went out to eat.
Yeah,
that's a comic I know from out here.
That's
and
right.
it was a cool thing. It was back at the hotel by fucking 11 something.
11:30.
It's the first time I've been in LA in a while where I didn't try to plan something creepy. I'm so busy. It was like...
Well, I wouldn't pat yourself on the back. It was literally you flew in that day. We're here until Sunday.
I didn't say that's going to last the whole week. I'm saying you don't understand. You have any 1 day and a half trips I take? Most of my trips to LA would be I come in, I would stay the night before. I would usually do the Tonight Show the next day, which would tape at 4, and I'm back on the red eye. So I usually only stay one night, and it's usually chock full of naughty behavior.
It is.
Yeah, so it felt good to do it's weird how when you have an unhealthy lifestyle to a certain degree.
Right. To a certain degree, you could when you have an unhealthy lifestyle.
But I go to the gym and I eat well. It's like I'm a total disaster, but in that area,
your bars do not make up for your
yes,
fucking
they do.
Diseases.
Well, a meat bar, it kind of translates through everything I do.
Exactly. Meat bar, snacking, and in social life.
But I wound up going, my friend said, let's go out and eat. I mean, we were hungry. I was like, yeah, just go out and eat with real people. Don't be a fucking asshole.
You didn't do anything perverted after we got back to the hotel?
No, none at all. I hung out for a little while. I was tired. I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Just texted a little bit. I read this article, excuse me, where it said that the phones keep you awake. At night, even having them in the room. And sometimes I slept better when my phone was across the room.
Is that just because you know it's there, like you have access
Part of it
to
is,
that?
yeah, they were saying it's for children, but it's for adults too. It's just the device being in the room, it keeps you up. It absolutely does.
I agree with that. I was sitting there if I'll tweet about something, and I know I'm going to get or I'm trying to get a retweet from a verified account or a celebrity or something like that, I will sit there and if it's late at night, I will have gone to bed and I'll be like, you know what, let me see if they retweeted.
Sure.
And you just want to know. There's so much information at your fingertips.
I was trying to check for a retweet, and I was like, there's so much smoke in front of me, and I'm like, oh God, I forgot about the smog in L.A.
Why is it Johnny Carson?
It's not Johnny Carson.
Yes, it is.
Me.
It's not you.
It's so.
Is that your L.A. comic voice?
Yeah, it's doing some jokes.
Your L.A. observation?
I was walking last night. The traffic was so bad.
Last night it was fine.
It was so bad on Sunset. I said, what's going on here? Oh, God, it must just be a crazy another Tuesday in L.A.
It's the same joke about Halloween except traffic. That's not even a joke.
It was a lot of traffic.
Yeah,
All kidding aside, B to B.
No, you're right. Okay, good. I'm glad you brought that up.
Do you feel like that guy was following us last night?
Oh.
Me and Sam were walking, and we crossed the street, and there's a guy right behind us. Remember I stopped to check my phone at one point just to stop and let him pass?
Oh, yeah, after we ate?
Yeah, his energy was fucking weird.
It was weird, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't like it. I didn't feel menacing. I wasn't afraid of him because he looked like a small guy in the peripheral and it was so crowded.
I would have protected you physically.
I appreciated that.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure.
Sam carries a purse. By the way, I didn't appreciate that photo you had of me and my fanny pack. It made my ass look frumpy.
You mean Kid Dynamite?
Kid Dynamite.
Well, because you travel in the worst sweatpants I've ever seen in my life.
They're comfortable.
I understand, but I was wearing jeans and I was plenty comfortable.
No, I'm not. I pissed too much. How many times did I get him to go to the bathroom? You counted.
I didn't count, but several times.
So I like to travel in some shitty sweat. My trainer's always yelling at me to fucking get new sweats.
You have to get new sweats.
I do.
And they make, by the way, stylish sweatpants now.
I don't need stylish sweatpants.
You need something.
It's called employment, not enjoyment.
Right now, you're wearing grandma's house pants that she's had forever.
Yeah, they are kind of bad. But did you mean to take the picture from the back? 'Cause it made me look silly.
Well, because when I took the picture from the back and I posted that, we can retweet it across the.
I'd appreciate we shouldn't, probably, because you can see a little bit of my skin and my strap. It makes me look like a really out of touch old man.
You
probably don't want you to be seen that way.
Luckily, I just made Adrian an admin on Jim and Sam, on Facebook.com.
Cool, so he'll take it down.
Jim and Sam
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
So Adrian, go ahead. your first assignment with the Facebook page is go ahead and post that picture.
No, you don't want to because what happens is there's the.
Do you think you look like an out of touch old man in it?
I do, yeah, like I look like a fool.
Well, see, what's great is like your awful worst sweatpants I've ever seen. The color matches the hoodie you were wearing.
Yeah, I mean sometimes the style just naturally does creep through.
It's not a style, and I mean it always looks bad. When I was growing up,
I looked crazy. It was pretty typical here in L.A.
You didn't look crazy. You look like an out of touch idiot.
Do you like the L.A. jokes?
No. When I was growing up, my mom at one point they opened a gym near us. And my mom decided that the whole family should start going to the gym. It lasted one trip, but the whole family should start going to the gym, including my dad.
She's probably just sending you and your dad so she could do what she wanted at home.
Which was what?
Have sex with people.
It's just no subtlety.
No, not at all.
Have sex with people.
I didn't expect a follow-up question. I felt that was enough. You led me right into it. I'm like, all right.
But she wanted us all to go. And my dad showed up, and I felt embarrassed for him, and I'll always remember. Because he didn't go to the gym. He still doesn't go to the gym. He doesn't do any of that bullshit.
It's hard to imagine that's natural. He's just gifted.
That's his body. That's his natural body.
Lucky him.
But he wore the only sweats he had, I think, which was a sky blue sweatpants and crew neck sweatshirt combo. And the sweatpants had like the little anklets on.
That's nice.
So he was just walking around in sky blue.
Cool.
Very clearly
Sky
being a man
nice.
who has never been to a gymnasium before.
Sky blue is good.
You like that?
I do.
You were wearing navy.
Navy, darker blue.
Faded navy.
Yeah, faded dark blue.
And see, here's the problem. You wore your shitty old sweatpants.
Sure.
You clearly were wearing a fanny pack.
Sure.
You had...
Fanny packs are awesome.
You had... No, they're not.
They are. They keep all your stuff in there. My pockets are jingle-free, empty.
I was thinking, when you said that, I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll look into a fanny pack. And then I went to the airport and just put my stuff in my pockets like usual. No problem. At no point when I was there was I like, oh, you know what I wish I had right now? A fanny pack.
No, but it's just, I like to sleep and be comfy and relax.
What do you need? Look, this is it. Phone, wallet.
Yeah.
What else?
You know how
is there?
thick your wallet is.
Yeah, but I don't put it in my pocket with it. I just put it in the thing on the plane.
Doesn't matter. You still have to sit, and it's bad for your back to have something like that big.
That's why I'm not sitting on it. I put it in a seat pocket.
No, how about when you're just traveling to and from the airport?
To and fro?
To and fro.
When I'm going to and fro the airport?
Traffic was crazy yesterday. I felt like, oh my God, it must be in the afternoon here in L.A.
God damn it. So
L.A. observations.
The problem really that I had with your outfit was that as you were walking through the airport, and by the way, like when you get to the L.A. airport, people
LAX.
they try to dress cool.
They don't.
And so you didn't fit in at all.
They don't try to dress cool. They try to dress down. Here's what you don't understand. Because you haven't been around enough major celebrities, and now you're traveling.
I see.
With one.
Tell me.
We try to dress down.
Right.
So people don't recognize us.
Do you like to wear like sweatshirts that kind of ride up your back so your little paunch of your back is showing?
True. But I tell you one thing, we zoomed in on it and it wasn't fat. I was happy about that. Just pale.
It wasn't fat, but
muscle.
No part of your body.
Solid muscle.
No part of your body in that photo matches the words Kid Dynamite that it said on the back of your hoodie.
That's because you're supposed to turn around and look at the front. Kid Dynamite on the back.
Also, your posture is not great.
It was good.
No, it wasn't.
It was. I was picking something up.
No,
I try to be conscious of that. Be confident. I talk in the mirror before I go. You can do it.
That's why you have to go to the bathroom so many times.
That's right. I look in the mirror.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Give yourself some words of encouragement.
A pep talk.
Yeah.
Give myself a pep talk.
Yes.
It does help.
You didn't like that photo, and I mean, it was very popular.
Yeah, I felt that people probably misunderstood. They were probably like, "Wow, Jim, looking good," but like, it didn't make me really look great.
Oh wow, my phone keeps going off on alerts. Different people commenting.
That's probably an Amber Alert. They search your trunk.
different people commenting on Jim Norton and Sam Roberts' photo that was just posted.
Oh wait, whoa!
I would imagine it's the Kid Dynamite photo.
I hope it doesn't make that because that makes me look foolish.
Yeah.
Here's like the fanny pack on the back. The strap in the back makes me look like an out-of-touch old man asshole. You probably didn't mean for that to happen.
No, I didn't mean for it to happen, but it just kind of appeared.
Yeah.
The camera sometimes has a way of doing that.
It certainly does. I look like a crazy person. Might as well run for mayor of L.A.
Back in New York is the Tef Box Live. Are you there, Travis?
Yeah, I'm here.
What do you think of all the L.A. jokes?
Oh, the jokes?
Yeah.
Those are jokes?
observations, I guess they
Yeah,
were.
they're kind of what they are. They're the observations of a humorist.
I don't like them.
No, they're not good. They're not good.
No, they're not good.
They're not good.
And you're being very liberal with the use of humorist.
You haven't been enjoying them? I think they're pretty clever.
No.
They're clean.
The only thing that I've enjoyed out of your trip so far is the chip videos.
Yeah, they were really very popular. They were wildly popular.
Were they?
By the way,
Wild. On some of these streets here in L.A.
Don't steal my shit. The fuck? I work hard on my stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry, dude. You're right.
I almost forgot we had, we did the Ramoning of Ken Bone called in yesterday. Let's talk about that.
So we had Ken Bone. So on Friday, D-Bag comes up to us, and D-Bag just stresses over everything.
He does.
And so, like, this to him was, like, the biggest booking of all time. And we thought it was funny, and it was. He goes, and by the way, he gets full credit for getting it done. He goes, guys, Ken Bone just followed me back on Twitter. Should I DM him and see if he wants to do the show? We were like, yeah, sure, we'll talk to Ken Bone.
Sure, why not?
And D-Bag ended up setting up the phoner, and he did end up getting Ramoned. Still, I think he became a legend because it was either Paul in Schenectady or Steve in Yellowstone. He called one of them, you fuck.
Paul in Schenectady, at the end of it, he goes, you fuck. Because one of the lines, I jotted down some thoughts, and one of the lines was, Ramon, only an asshole would would forge insurance papers to keep a pizza job.
Right.
And at the end, he went, only an asshole wants to feed his family. You fuck.
I love knowing that, like, Ken Bone has such a secret edge to him.
Yeah.
He likes pregnant porn. He's ready to fight. Like,
yeah.
He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, that was on the debate was the best Ken Bone you can see. Ken's a naughty boy.
Oh, yeah,
he's a very naughty boy.
But as it turns out, of course, because Ken Bone, when he did his AMA, decided to use his Reddit name that everybody knows now. You can go through his Reddit history, and we did, and he was posting in the Opie and Anthony subreddit.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's where a lot of those posts came from.
Oh,
people
I did
were
not
like,
know that.
because I guess he has Ken Bone alerts. So people in that subreddit are obviously talking about the show. You know, we got a lot going on.
We really do have a lot of what Sam is trying to say. We have a real buzz across the
board. So they're talking about what happened to Ken Bone, and immediately Ken Bone starts responding because he's got some kind of boner alert,
right?
That goes off. Thank you, Chip. That goes off when he gets talked about,
right?
And he seemed like he kind of took it in good humor.
He was great. I read a couple of the posts, and he recognized the bit, and then he got annoyed the second time because I was tired. I was in bed with my wife. But I think people criticized the way it was done because it really is the first time in years I've done Steve from Yellowstone.
People criticized it. I only heard
somebody said something about it was the way it went in, like, oh, they should have done more. Lead up, there should have been more, whatever.
Enough with the fucking...
But I'm saying it was the first time I've done it in years, and a lot of the old bits would times just go right to Steve's Yellowstone. And when it was open ant, it was easier because it was two guys talking to him. I asked one question, and then the door mysteriously closed behind me, and I had to step out for a second.
Right.
But it's hard when it's only two people to do a full, and then cause I'm never in the room when that happens. I don't like being in the room. I like being on the phone for legitimacy. I'm not in a mic.
You don't need to listen to these people, Jim.
No, here's what I'm saying. That
because
he responded
on the Ken Bone phone call from yesterday was over the top positive to the point where, like, I was at the Comedy Cellar, not the Comedy Cellar, the Comedy Store.
Someone doesn't know his comedy clubs. That's a major mistake.
Industry doesn't like that. I was at the Comedy Store last night, and people were coming up going, "Oh, I love the new show, the Ken Bone phone call." Yeah. Like, everybody liked it.
Well, no, the point I'm making is that he actually stepped in when someone said that and goes, they were dusting off an old bit. You know, they're getting there. Like, he actually stepped in and said, it's just
he defended us?
Yeah, that was the funny part, was that he's heard it and he knew the names. So Ken Bone was great because he was in on it without me knowing he was in on it. And he played along pretty well. And I guess the last line got to him. But so I tweeted him.
You fuck.
You fuck. But I tweeted him, like, whenever he's in New York, he's welcome to come in. It would be fun to hang with him, knowing that he used to listen to the show.
We'll turn the Tef box into the Bone Zone that day.
Yeah, we'll have him in, and we'll all wear red sweaters. It'll be fun.
It's so much fun.
We'll laugh.
And what's great is nobody's done that before. The red sweater bit.
I thought they had.
Yeah, they have.
Oh.
We should. Speaking of jokes, your boy Jay Leno was on Jimmy Fallon last night.
By the way, Jay called me Friday. I don't normally answer blocked numbers because it could be any number of fans.
Because you're fucking running from bill collectors, that's why.
Yeah,
sometimes. You're one of those guys. I used to always have the friend that would always have his answering machine
we already know you're lying.
I would always have the friend that would leave the answering machine on all the time. So be like, hey, it's Sam. You can pick up. And then they would pick up because they were running from bill collectors. That's what you used to do back before there were cell phones and stuff.
Screen calls.
You would just screen calls all the time because you didn't want bill collectors calling you.
Yeah, and you would be like, oh no, they're peeking in. It's a crazy person. Oh God, I shouldn't have moved to L.A.
What are you talking about?
This is where crazy people are.
No, we're talking about bill collectors.
Yeah, they knock on the door, and you don't realize that it's a bill collector because they're dressing a crazy person in L.A.
Because in L.A. people are so
crazy.
I see.
So
go on with your point about Jay Leno.
Oh, so I got a random call from Leno. It was so bizarre. And Jay just does things, I pick up. He's like, Jim, it's Leno. And he says, I hear you coming out to L.A.
Has he called you before?
Yes. He did.
Super dope.
Yeah,
but he calls you with a blocked number, though?
It's just it says no ID available, so that's just the way you have your phone set up.
So he doesn't like you that much because you don't have a number to get him.
Well, I'm sure if I fucking ask for it, but
he probably star 69s and then calls you. Just
star
so
67.
No, it's star 69 to block your number.
I think you're wrong.
Then fight me.
Let's just fight with our dicks. No, he just called. Excuse me. He random call, and he just goes, I'm in the fucking green room of Helium in Philly, and he goes, hey man, I hear you going to LA. Do you want to ride? He goes, why don't you hop on the plane and come with me?
How do you know you're going to LA?
That I don't know.
Industry buzz travels.
Yeah, I don't know, but he found out that I was coming out here, and he just offered a nice flight. So he was in New York doing something.
He would have had to deal with fucking Chip, but probably not.
No, he would have had Jim going, dude, I'd love to stop. Oh, we got to stop by and see his garage this week.
Yes, we definitely should.
And let me course correct. I should stop by and see his garage this week.
Oh, you can do it.
He doesn't know you. So he called me. Jim, who's your friend? Who's the guy? I don't know him. And but he was asking about the show. He didn't know that Opie and I had split.
Right.
So he had gotten some kind of.
I wish you would tell your friends about me, Jim.
He did ask. He goes, "Who's Sam?"
Hey.
And I said, it's funny you asked, Jay, because the whole goddamn business is waiting to know who the new kid is. So he was going to try to come on, but I guess he was doing press in New York. I think he had TV in the morning, whatever. I know he did Fallon. So it was nice of him to offer me a nice flight.
But you turned down a flight from Jay Leno?
I turned down a private plane. Anyone that thinks that I'm Mr. Showbiz, no one thinks that.
No, but
I turned down a private plane offer. Well, let me tell you, they would have had better food on that plane because fucking Leno knows how to eat. There would have been steak on that plane. I turned down a cross-country private plane flight.
With Jay
to fucking
eat meat bars next to me.
Meat bars next to this androgynous twink.
Yeah, to eat meat bars while the former intern tries to turn your massager on while you sleep.
Exactly. While the kid that used to work for free, who really did steal his mentor's job, fucking tortures me on the way in. But we had stuff to do. I knew we had this show today. And we have a podcast to do. We have guests. They just couldn't have been.
Yeah, we have guests. We did Kill Tony last night. We're taping with
I couldn't
Fitzsimmons today.
disrupt the show.
Yeah,
I couldn't do that. But it would have been. It was a nice offer. Fuck. If it was yesterday, I would have. Believe me, you'd have been on the plane by yourself.
Is that right?
Without a doubt.
You wouldn't have been like, how many seats are on the private plane? Because I have a.
No.
You wouldn't.
No.
You wouldn't look into seeing if we could still travel.
Not even if Jay said, you got any friends you want to bring?
He'd say, let me think about it. Nope.
No, I don't.
Oh, that's too bad.
No, I don't, Jay.
It's really...
You gotta go to his garage, though. It'd be a fun thing to do. I've never done that. God, I want to
Believe it or not, neither have I.
I am shocked to hear that.
You are.
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah, you ought to go to the garage in the hotel. Guy who's bad at slams.
So, Jay was in New York.
Oh, you said he did the...
he was doing the Tonight Show last night, and Fallon, it's not the first time he's done it, but Fallon gave up the seat to Jay to do some jokes in the monologue.
That's what he does, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's smart. I like that Jay does it, and I like that when Jay goes on, like he's obviously trying to, make a pretty big impact. Like he's trying to remind I think, unless I'm just putting too much of myself in Jay Leno. He strikes me...
Why would you? You're very different people.
You think so? I don't know. We're not that different, are we?
You're both a little OCD and crazy.
Is he a little OCD, Jay Leno?
I think he's very superstitious.
Superstitious?
He had 70 of the same outfit in his green room.
No.
He would always have like those jeans and pants. He wears the same thing every day.
But he had 70 of them?
Yeah, I'm exaggerating.
But he had a lot of them?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, he did always wear the same thing. And he was obsessed with the show, right?
Yeah.
Like that was his whole
no
thing.
days off.
I always wonder how Jay would have done now. Because he was obsessed with the show in such a way where, like, he was paying attention to all the ratings books, right? Like, he was looking at every quarter hour and figuring out what works, what doesn't work that way. Whereas nowadays, ratings is only half of it. Like, you need to put out viral videos. You need to be out there doing skits. You need to do all kinds of other stuff.
He would have done well if he was younger.
Yeah.
He couldn't compete with Fallon and Kimmel on the viral video stuff or Conan. Oh, no, Conan, not the other guy started, the James Corden. Is that his name?
Yes.
Those guys have a great knack for that. And that was where him and Letterman weren't as good because they were from the generation before. But, if you're coming up and that's the thing you do, you'll probably be better at it than you were if you're older.
Because it comes naturally. Yeah. It's, as opposed to like doing a show for 20 years or however long you did it and then having to change things up.
Well, you know how hard it is to host a Tonight Show and then all of a sudden they go, embrace this new technology.
Right.
Like, what?
No.
Everyone's living room for fucking 2 decades.
Right. Yeah, no, at that point it's
But Fallon is great at it and so is Kimmel. They just, these weird little bits they do that just get a lot of attention. It's
perfect.
Smart, yeah.
It's perfect. You want to hear some of his jokes? But Leno was smart because Fallon doesn't do anything political, really. Like, he'll have the candidates on, he'll mess with Donald Trump's hair, he'll do this, he'll do that, but he makes no jokes about it. Like, Jimmy Fallon is one of these guys who's
nice guy, very, very pleasant.
Yeah, and he's an expert at, like, getting an audience. Like, even Jimmy Kimmel will do stuff that is a little bit polarizing.
Sure, oh yeah.
Jimmy Fallon doesn't. Jimmy Fallon goes right to the middle of the country.
He wants to be everybody's buddy.
Right.
That's kind of his reputation. And I think he's comfortable with that reputation. He's not like hiding from it.
And Jay also always went right to the middle of the country, but he at least talked about the news a little bit.
Oh yeah, he did fucking. I remember when we did the test for the Jay Leno show, we did a fucking Pan Am Lockerbie bomber joke. Which I was amazed that we did that because people think, well, Jay doesn't like to do stuff like that, and it was a Lockerbie bombing hunk that we did.
You want to hear some of what Jay did on the Tonight Show last night?
I don't have any choice. You're the guy with the fucking finger on the computer.
That's right. Let's see.
Well, apparently Teft fucked it up.
It's not Teft.
Yes, it is. Probably in there with his feet up, jerking off at the console.
Hang on, I see what the problem
Thigh
is.
highs on.
Like the pilot.
I like that. He's talking about fucking a pumpkin and setting your dick on fire.
Yeah, it's funny unless you're a pumpkin. I think that, we have to be cognizant.
That's actually true.
That vegetable shaming.
Yeah.
Is pumpkins a vegetable?
Pumpkin is, well, there's seeds inside it, so I guess it'd be a...
Your mouth?
So you actually object to the true statement that Jay Leno made in his joke monologue?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I was watching One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah.
And then I realized I was just walking down Santa Monica Boulevard here in L.A.
Here in L.A., you had to add.
Sure. It's my hook.
That's really great.
It's my hook.
That's really great. Maybe you could have gotten with Jay while he was writing these jokes and maybe give him your cuckoo's nest joke instead of the inaccurate.
Jay does what he does. Jim does what he does. Jay's Jay. Jim is Jim.
Right. I wish Jim didn't exist anymore.
Yeah, that's not true.
Yeah.
You'd be talking to no one.
I'd be fine with that. I'd be talking to the audience and they'd be much bigger.
It would not be much bigger. They'd be dwindling and I'm upset.
I wonder if Jay watches like the monologues though, because like
he said he does.
He still watches everybody's monologues.
Yeah, like he's just joke.
Watching them going like these fucking guys.
Yeah, I mean when it comes to like joke writing and getting jokes done, he had a good staff too. This guy named Jim Wise, who's a buddy of mine.
I remember Jim.
Yeah, Jim's very funny.
Yeah, but Jay would like
John Kennedy. That was the guy's name, the writer.
Oh, really?
John Kennedy. Yeah.
From what I've read about Jay, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, but he was always obsessed with the monologue. Like that's what he thought the whole show was based around, right? Like he'd spend all his time.
As a stand-up, the monologue for you is the highlight because that's what you do.
Right.
And people that like with all those shows, I think they tune in for the monologue first. With Letterman, the same thing. With all these guys, they tune in mostly for the monologue. There's always a big drop off after the monologue.
Right.
I think.
Like he didn't care so much about the interviews and the skit was whatever.
It wasn't. It wasn't what he cared as much about. No, because I think for him that was the part that he liked the most, and it was also the opening of the show, the earliest part of the show.
Whereas Fallon, like nobody really thinks about him as a monologue guy at all.
Yeah, even though he's a stand-up. I remember Jimmy. I'm meeting him years ago. I was in the airport, and I think Opie and Anthony had been fired by this point. This was probably 2003.
Was this before SNL or during SNL?
I believe it was before.
Wow.
And we had done a couple of things here and there. Like Jimmy and I, the first time I met Jimmy, we did and again, this is probably 2001 or 2. We did a thing, or maybe it was right after the fire, I don't remember. It was in the middle of summer, and we did Bryant Park.
Let's spend some more time talking about what year it was.
Well, it's important because it was were we on the air or not. It was probably 2002. And it was fucking Bryant Park gig where HBO's building is, a noon gig. And I fucking bombed. And whoever else was on the show bombed.
Can I tell you something? I like you a lot, and I'm your friend. I've never gotten to see you bomb, and I would just adore the chance.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. I mean, it's not that rare an occasion. But it was a terrible outdoor gig. And then Jimmy went on and fucking he had the guitar. And I saw him in the airport one time, and he came up. He's like, man, I'm a big Opie Anthony fan. Do you remember me? We did this thing. So yeah, it was definitely before SNL.
Yeah.
Or he might have just been in the audition process.
That's cool.
Yeah. And
but he's also always been more kind of sketch-oriented, I think.
Yeah, but he was a decent stand-up, is the point I'm making. He was a fun stand-up, and he would kill. The songs would distribute. It's hard to bomb with a guitar unless you're bad, but he was good.
Yeah, yeah. Let's go back to Jay's monologue, tearing people up. It is interesting, though, like listening to this, and maybe I don't watch enough late-night TV, but it does seem like people don't like making those type of Hillary Clinton jokes.
No, they
don't. They don't.
They don't.
Because it's become the sort of Hollywood liberal elite has become very real, and like, yeah, everybody likes making Donald Trump jokes.
Yeah, Trump is more make funnable just because of again the appearance and the fucking
everything he says,
the years and he opens himself to it. I mean, just from a pure joke point of view, not even a political thing. Just for jokes, he's much more make funnable because he says crazier shit. Hillary's more measured,
but Hillary is plenty make fun of
without a doubt.
And so the amount of not making fun of Hillary Clinton that happens is extremely noticeable.
They're so fucking soft on her. And I don't care if you shit on Trump. Fuck them. Make fun of him. But the fact that they don't even come close because they're afraid that it will damage her somehow, or they're just so mad at him, they want to get him.
I also think that there's an extreme liberal bias.
No!
in show business in general.
What?
Yes. Yeah, I know. I'm getting
Sam!
A little bit controversial here.
Holy shit, 1950 observation.
But I say that to say that some of these guys might not have ill will towards Donald. Some of these guys might be voting for Donald, but they know if they want to maintain their spot in Hollywood, they're not going to go on TV and make Hillary Clinton jokes.
I don't mind a liberal bias. You get used to it after a while. But I don't like the fact that if you don't have it, or if you shit on the liberal side of things, they get kind of defensive.
You're out.
It's gotten frustrating to watch, because again, like I've said a million times, I've always expected conservatives to be a little shitty with free thought, but when liberals are like that, it's like really disappointing. It's like, come on, man, you guys are the ones who I really want to be on board.
Right, and that's how it's supposed to be. That's why you're on board with them, right?
Yeah, but it's hard with the fucking language policing.
Yeah.
Are they big drinkers, those girls?
They are. They like to drink wine.
Who do we have in here today?
Tony Hinchcliffe.
That's right.
And what's her face? Carrie Keegan.
My ex.
Are both coming in. She's not your ex. She's not your ex-girlfriend.
You did a roast together.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you dated.
What do you call it?
Doing a roast together.
No.
You had it right the first time.
It's intimate.
If you want to call up, it's 866-969-1969.
Where's the Tefta box? Is that up and running?
We'll put it up.
What, like video?
Yeah,
well, no, a fucking sketch artist.
All right, you want it now?
Yeah.
Well, then
let's do it now.
The Tefta box.
Let's go Tefcam Live. We're going to get it going. Tefta box?
Yeah.
Adrian. We're going to get it going on Facebook.com/Jim and Sam Show.
That's right.
All right,
do we have to break it all or no? I'm only asking because it's 5 of.
It's a regular show, so you have
is he here?
Folks.
Is Tony here? No, he's not here yet.
Okay, because I want to get some coffee. I'm going to buy a little gift for Sam.
I don't need a gift.
Let me just plump it up first.
Let's go to Mike in the Bronx.
What's up, Mike from the Bronx. Hey, how you doing over there in New York? I'm just going to try to riff a little.
Hey, boy,
Mike.
I just want to say Hey, boys, you there?
Yeah.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, I just want to
Hello?
say I'm proud of you both. I got two really quick questions. Question number
Sure.
one. You guys going to do any, public appearances where we can come, see you and say hi, maybe?
Yes, I want to do Sam and I want to do a live show. Again, it feels like, because we have done a bunch of pop-up shows at what point, it feels like we've been doing it longer, but it literally is only one...
We've been on the air for a month.
A month. So we're working out quirks and all that stuff and trying to build some stuff that just is ours.
But if you're in California and you want to say hi, then my best advice would be go to the gig on Friday.
Yeah, at the Melrose Improv I'm doing is... Oh, good, man. Come up and say hello. I'll be there. I don't know if Sam is not doing anything and he comes, but just come up and say hello.
All right, that leads me into question number two. Jimmy, how come when you come to L.A., you never do the Comedy Store? You got some kind of fucking problem with the place?
I love the Comedy Store. Dude, it's so funny. I was at the store last night. I love the store. But usually, like I said, when I come to L.A., I'm in and out in a day or two at maximum. I don't normally stay for a week. And I fly, so I'm fucking on Dramamine, and I'm tired. So the night I get in, I'm usually fairly worthless. And I don't think before to plan a spot out. So I don't feel comfortable just going and going, hey, can I go on? If you call a few days in advance, like the Comedy Cellar, I have a fucking routine. If I know I'm going to be in town and I want to go on, who I call. But, I love the store, dude. I'm very comfortable there. I like the improv. And I heard from the lady at the Laugh Factory who actually just emailed me randomly and invited me to come and do spots. So I may stop in there, too. But, no, I love the Comedy Store. That's where I met Dice. That room changed my dude, that room changed my life.
Yeah. Well, I would think to make, strides to get in there, but it almost seems like you're not so smart now, are you?
I don't have my fucking sound effects thing. Where's my iPad?
We should have shipped the iPad. Now that I think about it, we didn't ship it.
Absolutely should have.
Yeah. That's
all right,
for
I'll
next
just do
time.
them.
Although I'm watching the Teft Cam live, and it looks like Teft is poking away at his iPad. What's going on?
Whoa, hey, Teft, do you have my fucking sound thing in fucking front of you?
Are you enjoying the sound clips for yourself?
I also own an iPad.
No, I don't know. I think you might be enjoying
the personal one.
How about this, Travis? So. Why don't we do this? This is going to be fun. I'm going to come up with a signal of some sort when I want you to do a sound clip. So you need to hit the iPad. I don't want to just give it away. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean, but that doesn't change the fact that it's my iPad.
No, but you have to get the other one.
All right, Adrian.
Like literally, if I want you to do the car crash, I'll do this.
All right,
terrible signal.
The RX shake.
So you're going to do a sound signal for me to play sound.
By the way, if there's a visual, I would like to tweet out. If you could have seen Sam right now looking out and seeing, is that Jason Ellis?
Yes.
Sam looked and did the point, hey, and then thumbs up. I would love to chop fucking Sam's hand off.
Why?
If you could see the fucking showbiz point that Sam Roberts just did and the thumbs up, it's enraging.
I was pointing at my friend Jason.
I saw a crazy person
God damn
walking around, and I pointed and he waved, and I went, oh my God, it's just the mayor of LA.
Oh, you fuck. Uh-oh. You're just asking about this dude, Jim.
Oh no.
White Supremacy Ken is on the phone. Ken Steele.
Yo.
Yes? Yes.
Yo.
What's going on, guys?
What's
Hello.
up?
Oh, shit. Just a second. My battery is dying. Dudes, you guys are in Los Angeles, I heard. I got the word from the internet.
Yes,
That's right.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I relocated to Los Angeles myself.
Why?
Weren't you in Washington, D.C.? Where were you?
I was in Chicago, Illinois.
Oh, right.
Kind of heavy.
Okay.
Tef Cam Live is having private conversations right now. I can see him, but I can't tell who he's talking to.
Yeah, he does that.
Who are you just talking to, Travis?
He's running over here.
Who?
It's going to take 5. He's just going to wave to you.
There's a delay. It doesn't matter if he waves.
How can he wave? I can't see it. I don't have a monitor in front of me.
Mars.
What is
what?
Cam?
All right.
He's hugging me.
Teft Cam is Travis Teft is
He's become quite a cultural phenomenon.
Yeah, he's one of those underground success stories, and he's a bit of an icon, and people just want to see him.
Be honest, is it racist?
Okay, goodbye, Kevin.
Bye, Ken.
We can't.
Why? I think Ken was just being silly.
He's a fucking idiot. Everything.
No, but I think he was just being silly there.
He was gonna, but this is how Ken, like, he starts silly, and then he leads into it, and it's a whole thing, and it becomes the white supremacy Ken show.
You know, and it was a weird thing. I thought he was a troll at first, because then I watched his stand-up, and I thought he was going to be awful, but he wasn't. I was like, all right, he's pretty funny stand-up. He writes some good jokes, like he's a legit comic. But I'm like, what comic could be so... like looking at things so one-directional that they see racism and like it's like he's not a dumb guy.
He's doing a little bit of shtick.
A little bit.
He's
not a dummy. He's a smart guy. But whatever.
By the way,
the Tef Box is not racist, but we'd like to make it so.
I'm looking. Yeah, well, the person in charge of the Tef Box would like to make it so.
He certainly would.
He's trying to.
He really is. Travis is a white supremacist.
He is.
Yeah.
100%. And I have new information based on correspondence from the Tef Cam Live.
Yeah.
If you signal, something may happen. Although I don't know if it's plugged into the board. Is it?
Well, we'll see soon.
No, it's not. I'm going to have to put it up to the microphone.
Okay, well, for now we'll do it because I was walking around and I heard one car banged into another, and I was like, "Oh boy, that's just another Thursday in L.A."
Was that the right sound effect?
Smooth.
Perfect.
Smooth as silk.
Perfect.
It's the only
That's
cue
the
he's
signal.
given yet.
No, that's the only cue. But we need other sound. What's another one I use a lot?
By the way, it looks so fucking awkward. If you go to Facebook/Jim and Sam Show, looking at the Tef Cam Live and watching Tef put up the Tef board to the microphone is so uncomfortable.
You're not
and
so
awkward.
smart now has got to be. That was the car crash. It should be like this.
It's so...
What?
It's so obtrusive.
Intrusive.
That too.
Oh, you don't even know the word?
You're not so smart now.
There we go. Perfect.
Smooth, right?
Yes,
Obtrusive.
Smooth.
Okay, so we got those two. We can't do this for all of them because I don't want people to get annoyed. What's another one?
There's the bitch got a dick.
Yeah, that would be.
Ew.
No.
Oh my god. We should go to break. We should take a break.
Yeah, let's take a break.
Because Tony should be here.
You're not so smart now, are you?
Doesn't even make any sense.
Perfect.
Doesn't even
This is
make
going to
any
be
sense.
a fucking hit.
Tony Hinchcliffe scheduled to be here. He should be here at any moment. Carrie Keegan coming in today. Whole bunch of stuff happening.
Wait. One more.
Oh,
What's another sound effect? Not bitch got a dick. We don't need that one.
he found a prop.
I know. I'm trying to do it different than the other one. Can you hear this, Trav?
Yes, I
Of
can
course
hear
you can
that.
hear it. He's got headphones.
Okay, that could be. What could that be? What's another sound effect?
It's far better to burn a candle or whatever.
Language, young man.
Okay, fine. They're all stupid.
Shut up, you piece of shit.
Still trying to find that one.
Did you hear the rattle?
Oh, I got it. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Do it again.
You piece of shit.
Language. This is my house.
It really took you a while to find that, Travis.
That's not it.
Fucking
what's
boo.
your pleasure?
Now it even
What's
makes
your
more
pleasure?
sense. Now it makes more sense.
You're not so smart now, are you?
All right, cool. We got it down now. It's smooth. It'll be a good show.
Yeah, this will be good. I hope you're writing down your... by the way, you should be writing down the key so that you know all this stuff because we're going to be doing this all week.
Yeah, you got a
and
week.
Jim can't reset up what all the cues
every
mean
day. I'm busy.
That's crazy.
I'm busy.
We got too much stuff to talk about.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do. And we're going to talk about all of it when we get back here on Jim Norton and Sam Roberts from Los
LA.
Angeles. You fuck. Welcome back. It's Sam Roberts, Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.
Yeah, it was so crowded yesterday. There was fucking mobbed everywhere. And I said, man, it's just a typical weekday in L.A.
Tony Hinchcliffe is here. Tony, I'm very sorry. I thought that maybe when you came in we wouldn't have to deal with this anymore. But Jim has been doing bad Johnny Carson impressions.
It's not Johnny Carson. It's
terrible
clever
LA
jokes. He doesn't like it. Sam resents that I can just adapt to wherever I am.
And by the way, they're not jokes. Sometimes it's just pointing out that the traffic's bad.
Right, yeah.
So,
It was crazy.
have you noticed that living here?
Have I-
Sometimes the traffic's bad?
I've noticed once in a great while that the traffic is a little bit busier than other places.
Oh, wow. Okay, so there is some truth in the... Okay. Maybe I should give your jokes a little more credit then.
Yeah, you absolutely should, because I'm fucking... How long were we walking around that parking lot yesterday for? And we realized we were just on the 405 here in L.A.
That's so stupid.
When you stretch the last beat of the thing, that's what really... the 405.
I'm trying to change my persona.
Yeah, you want to be more industry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Sure.
Do you think, Tony, being out here, that like if Jim starts adapting some of that into his style, that people will take him more like, oh, this is Jim Norton. He's one of the jet setters of comedy.
Yeah, I think if you do that thing, like talk about the traffic, talk about the 405 especially, I think you get that big boost to your comedy career. People, a lot of validation. People start to take you seriously in this business.
So. 405 is a really inside joke, right? It's not just like the only road that everybody knows in California.
That's not true. I've done that joke in different fucking variations.
Like what?
One time I got lost in the parking lot and I realized I was just on the 10 here in LA.
But what's really good is that you mention a local reference and then you just drive it home by saying here in LA.
Yeah,
it's very good.
Yeah,
those are the two worst freeways, the 5 and the 10. I mean, they're pretty much always. I never get on either one of them. I've lived here for over 10 years and I never take those two because anytime I do, it's just stuck.
Right.
And it's amazing that people just love it. They just keep getting on them. It really is crazy. Side roads, any streets faster, pretty much, to the airport, to anywhere.
Unless you do 4 o'clock in the morning. That's the only time you take a highway.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, your shoes are great. What are those? I probably couldn't wear them because my feet are all fucked up. But those look comfortable.
They're actually Kenneth Cole. I just found them in a mall window.
You're not wearing wrestling shoes?
Not this one. No,
wow.
I have like a writing gig after this. So
so you have to dress like a person?
Yeah, I can't dress like like a wrestler or like a comedian.
That's what Tony likes to like casually. Like his favorite shoe to wear is an amateur wrestling shoe.
Oh God, walking around looking like a wrestler. People must think it's just another Tuesday afternoon on Hollywood Boulevard.
What does that even mean?
You're in LA.
What does that mean?
My weight class is the 405. a little bit bigger than I look.
By the way, if you tune into our Facebook page, Facebook/Jim and Sam Show, you won't be able to see Jim or myself or Tony, but the Tef Cam Live.
Oh, good. We got Travis.
Very well. Yeah, Travis is there, and I knew I was embracing the Tef Cam Live too much. Travis Teft is our producer back in New York, and he's become quite a phenomenon, and so the people just want to see what Teft is up to, what he's tefting.
Yeah.
And while I was doing the live read, he waved to me as he was bringing the music down. And I waved back as I was looking at the Facebook camera.
What a fucking dope.
Yeah, like we were really communicating.
Yeah, what a no showbiz dope. So you like writing for other people? I fucking hate it, dude.
I really don't do it anymore. This is like sort of a cool special gig that it's sort of secret, so I can't really talk about it. But it is roasty, like we're making fun of people, which is sort of my favorite thing. That's really the only reason that I even took this writing gig is because I'm also going to be on it. But in order to be on it, I had to help him produce it. So it's one of those things like final level, like I'm like beating the writing video game finally getting all the way out of it to where like I can now negotiate. Well, if you want me to write for it, then I have to be on it too.
Yeah, that's good.
And so this is one of those cool gigs, and yeah, I'm really pumped about that. I've been helping people for a long time. I helped out with that Bradshaw roast that you were on.
Oh, right.
That was really funny, by the way.
They could have been a better roast, too. The crowd was not amazing, right?
Right, they weren't. It was like a weird banquet. It was more like, it felt like we were inducting Terry Bradshaw into like a Hall of Fame rather than just, making fun of how long his nutsack is or whatever.
It was very bizarre.
It's weird. I think roasts like are designed for comedy fans, but from doing from writing on the Terry Bradshaw roast or from doing all the wrestling roasts and stuff that you've done, that when you get in front of an audience that's not a comedy audience, they'll turn on you, they don't understand, they get offended. Yeah.
And you just hope that it's a rock and roll crowd, and when it is, there's nothing better.
Yeah.
But when it's tough, it's tough. Yeah.
I roasted Gene Simmons on Family Jewels in like 2007.
Was it a real roast, or did they just
real roast? Oh no, it was real. It was at the Whiskey A Go Go or one of those places.
Oh wow!
And it was so great, and the crowd was on fire. Like they knew what it was.
Yeah,
they were fucking pumped. And maybe for TV, Gene took it all. Yeah. That was great. But sometimes these other ones, people are like, oh, that's That's mean. Why is he saying that my hero fucks his 10-year-old daughter? They don't know how to handle it.
Was Gene cool with that? Gene Simmons?
He was. I did one that he was like, whoa. I forget what. I mean, I something about fucking seeing his head slammed on a toilet. I forget. It was a really mean joke. But and I did one about Paul Stanley being gay, which was just a good joke.
Yeah.
And Gene went, "It's not true." He yelled.
Because he
I think I'm just kidding, Gene.
Yeah.
But all in all, he took it great. Every time I've seen him since then, he's been fucking phenomenal.
Have you had to deal with people like roast subjects or whatever that did not like?
Well, I was just saying, Gene.
There was that.
Not you.
Oh,
Jim.
sorry,
I was
sorry.
looking right at Tony.
Who's that wrestler that stabbed the guy in the ring? New Jack.
Oh yeah.
New Jack? Is that his name?
Yes.
Well, everybody.
New Jack is like this like super thugged out wrestler. He's the last guy who hasn't figured out wrestling's fake.
Right.
So like he uses weapons and stuff, but he's been multiple times. He's had assault charges filed against him.
Literally.
For stuff he's done in the ring because he stabs people. He'll cut them open way too deep, like the whole deal.
He literally shanked a guy once during
Yes.
a wrestling match, like real stabbing, or whatever, and it was like crazy. The guy's just bleeding out. Anyway, everybody's like, "Be careful! I don't know what New Jack's sense of humor is." And sure enough, like we did the roast of the Iron Sheik. I think it was in New York City.
I think I was there for
You were
that.
at
Wasn't
that
that
one,
Caroline's?
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
And New Jack was on it, and man, I was laying into him, and geez, he got up, and I was scared, man, because it's all a joke until you're literally physically being touched and like grabbed by somebody that's that strong, and maybe they're kidding, maybe they're not. I mean, you don't even know until your head's snapped. You
So
know
what
I
happened?
mean? He just ended up like really scaring me, just like just grabbing me and being like, "Is this what you wanted to do? You gonna keep making the jokes?" I'm like, "Actually, I am. I got a couple more left." I remember like I had to. Yeah, exactly. Like I just sort of didn't back down, but at the same time I did. Like physically, I was like, no, but mentally,
Well, you're
I'm like,
supposed to physically back down. You're a giant wrestler. How did he take it when you said I got more?
I think he sort of got it, actually. I think had I been like, no, I won't do it anymore, then he would have been like, damn right, and like probably given me one last shove. But instead, I was sort of like, yeah, I'm like, hey, I got a job to do, and you're part of it, New Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that the same roast where Virgil like attacked Kurt Metzger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Virgil, that was a sad one.
Yeah, Virgil didn't like the jokes that Kurt Metzger was making about him being lonely.
Oh no.
So he went, but I think he hit him. Didn't he do something physical? He didn't punch him in the face or anything, but he at least shoved him or did something.
It was that was a awkward one. That New York one had a lot of like cayenne pepper to it. Like it was just like the audience was angry.
Yeah, they were.
Caroline's?
Yeah.
I got invited to that and I couldn't do it for some reason. Now I really wish I was able to at the time.
Yeah, the audience got pissed because they were all like wrestling people. So when the comedians like Tony, who by the way Tony's like the biggest fan ever, but they didn't know who he was.
Sure.
So like he goes up, or any of the other, or Metzger, or any of the other comedians go up and start making fun of their heroes.
Absolutely, and attacking them and shitting on them.
They all got pissed.
Exactly.
They all got pissed.
And just loud boos because it's a real pro wrestling audience. So they're treating you like you're the bad guy, and you try to own into it, and they just hate you more. You know what I mean?
Right.
I would try to heel up. I'd be like, whatever, New York City, you're just a bunch of idiots. I'm gonna go back to the 405. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Where people are really crazy, which is just the average weekday in LA.
Hey.
What?
And the weather, by the way, horrible today.
I did a really good smog joke today.
Yeah,
This morning.
You did. No, you mentioned smog this morning.
killed.
It wasn't a really good joke
Fucking killed.
by any stretch of the imagination.
How long have you been doing? Sorry, how long have you been doing your podcast?
3.5 years.
Kill Tony?
Yeah, every Monday live at the Comedy Store.
And you've done it consistently?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
In fact, the longest break we ever took was this past one where we just came back yesterday that you guys were on, and it was 2 weeks. It's the longest we've ever
Why'd you
done
take
without
it? You
doing
just-
Australia.
Oh, you were away. Okay, yeah, that's fair.
How was Australia for you?
Oh my God, so great.
It was, right?
Oh, so cool. So many cool comedy fans and just great shows. And that, like, you're talking about audiences, man, do they get it? And they are loud. You know, it's like Canada, sort of, but maybe even a little bit more like on steroids. Canadians and Australia, I feel like they just have this thing where it's like, bring it, let's go, take me away. You know, talk about anything. Let's get into it. You know, I think
they just
like
want
it.
a show.
They like it edgy and hard and fun. And yeah, they want a show and they want it hard. So, you know, that makes it fun because then you feed off that energy a little bit.
Yeah, the last thing you need is like you get up there and you just start and they're going, ooh.
Right. That happened to me once actually in Sweden. I didn't realize. I mean, they were liking it. It turns out, but I thought I was bombing because they don't verbally laugh that much. They're more of like clappers and it's very hard to explain.
Mm-hmm.
I could have sworn I was bombing, but afterwards everybody's like, "You did good. What are you talking?" I'm like, "Nuh-uh. They're not like ha 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 ha. They're just sort of yeah." But they were loving it. But they're
just polite laughers,
right? Whereas like Australia and Canada, I feel like America maybe even comes behind them as far as like ga 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 ga. You know, hard.
We just want to guffaw.
Yeah.
Why didn't you do it when you were down there? Because you could have done the podcast, or was it just the hookup, the technological?
Technologically, I got nothing. And Red Band is the producer guy.
Okay.
I couldn't bring him, so it was just all stand up.
And what is this? What is this thing between you and Ron Bennington? I wanted to ask you about that. Is there anything, or is it nothing?
It's nothing.
Okay, good.
In fact, it was brought up on Rogan, and I literally talked about it being nothing because Joe's like, "What's up with this show?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's nothing." Some people said that it was the same. It's like, they have somewhat of a version of that show. But
Comedy
it's
101.
Yeah. It's the only thing that sort of annoys me is that it's an interrobang thing, or however they came together with whatever, and I know people there that know me well, that I know are fans of Kill Tony, and it just sort of bugs me that, I guess, if they liked my show, I would have loved to have had a chance to have been on something as cool as Sirius XM, and instead they're just like, let's start this new show that's...
But do you think, and I have to ask, I have not heard Ron's show. I was actually supposed to do it tonight, but I'm here in LA. Because Ronnie himself...
Oh, he's going to be pissed. You went and did Kill Tony instead.
Well, no, I had only heard that there was rumblings, and I never heard you say anything about it, but Ronnie is a brilliant guy, and he's completely...
I've heard...
integrity. Yeah. He's a genius, and he's an absolute 100% integrity. There's never, not an ounce of stealing in Ron Bennington.
100%.
Totally, and I'm not thinking that at all. I think that if anything, the idea for we should get comedians and goofing on comedians type of show, continuous comedy type of thing, I think there is always space to do something like that. And every single one of my buddies in New York, Big J and Ari and all my close pals there, have all immediately reported back like, hey, Ron Bennington's cool. You guys are, just to let you know, like, he would never do this. And it's like, so we're all totally cool. It's just, people on the internet, they hear it come up for a second on a podcast like Rogan's or like this one even, I'm sure this will even fire up enough, traction to get something going on Twitter, and then all of a sudden there's people going, hey, you're an idiot because you know what I mean, and it just happens quick to where it all gets out of control.
Well, I don't hear the answer, like, because I literally had heard something, and I didn't know what the conclusion of it was.
Right.
And I'm like, I didn't think Tony would bash Ron. It didn't make sense to me.
He didn't.
So yeah, that's why you.
But it's also not dissimilar. I mean, we were talking before we did the show about the kind of incarnations that stuff like this has happened in the past.
Car crash
you're talking
comedy,
about Car Crash Comedy that Opie and Anthony did, or the Key Room or whatever it was that you talked about. There are...
That seems frightening.
Yeah.
Tell us about the Key Room.
In Atlanta, there's an all-urban show.
Already you lost me.
Where the whole audience, big crazy crowd, takes their keys out if they don't like you. If you start to lose them for a second, they start to take their keys out and lightly jingle them.
How humiliating.
So if you start to really do bad, the whole place just has their keys, and it sounds like just a vibrating, it sounds like you're in somebody's pocket.
Have you done that or no?
I haven't. No, it's just part of, like, I think we were talking about Earthquake. I think that's part of his, like, legacy, is that he was built in this, like, dark room where keys are jingling, and
I don't know
if you fail, you lose. You know what I mean?
And I don't know if anybody can really put it into context, but the reason that I found it, like, because you got to think that one person is not going to like a joke, and all you need to hear is, because you'll hear the first one, and all you need to hear is one set of keys jingling, and all of a sudden you get thrown off your game.
It's like a wedding fucking when they want to kiss the bride.
Right.
One starts.
And then the minute you get thrown off your game, somebody else is going to pick up on it, and then it's just like you're fucked.
Right.
You're fucked.
And the story that I heard is, like, sometimes you'll just walk out and people will already be jingling their keys. They don't like your shirt, or they don't like the way you're walking or something like that, and you're already fighting without even saying a word.
Have you done it?
No.
No. That would be fun to do once.
Would you like that?
Sure, why not? I mean, I've bombed before. I mean, the worst that can happen is they jingle the keys and you leave.
Exactly.
Do you like rooms where you're battling the audience? Because like comedy is so weird, because you've seen it. It's like a room like that. You have to go out. You have to battle the audience, and winning is like you're fighting them, and you only win when they start laughing with you.
Right.
which is crazy.
How will you do it? Like, typically what I'll do is if the crowd is being loud, I'll be like, folks, they didn't pay me to come up here and police the room. And that kind of quiets them down.
That's so because they see the logic behind that.
Yeah,
That's cool.
They'll hush up.
That's cool.
I'd like to do the Keys show. That sounds like fun.
But do you like battling audiences like that?
Oh, I mean, I always love it when I get to have something outside, the playbook. Just call an audible and have fun with anything.
Just because it's something different.
A minor heckle or this or that. I love slamming. Just anything that throws me something where I can improvise and sort of show the crowd that it's a live show. You know what I mean?
The worst is when they're trying to help you.
Oh.
Like the guy who's like, and he's enjoying you, so you don't want to hit him too hard because he's having fun, but it's like, oh, fucking shut up.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a guy hate my guts and heckle because then he's throwing down the gauntlet and you can take the gloves off and fucking murder him.
Yeah.
But it's when they're having fun with you that you have to walk carefully, and because then the audience will walk away from you if you're totally mean to a guy who's having fun with you.
Yeah.
It's a weird line.
Yeah.
It is. Some guy in the middle of my set last night said Happy Halloween really loud, just at one quiet part where I was like moving on or resetting from something, and you could tell that he was just waiting for the one moment where he could just get this in.
Sure.
And I just stopped everything and I'm like, have you been saying that to everybody tonight? It just turned into a whole thing and just I really bashed him, and then I just felt like it wasn't coming across because then he went completely quiet after that, and that sort of bugged me. Like I asked him a question, like after that, like, are you gonna, like, I can't remember what the question was, but it was just something, and he wasn't answering, and I go, oh, you're not gonna talk, and I just started laying into his girlfriend for really no reason, just because out of pent up anger, like you wanted to heckle, but now you don't want to answer the one question that I have,
The legit question, yeah.
Right.
Good for you.
Now
Fine.
I'm gonna make you pay.
Right. So I'm just like, lady, I can't imagine how much your life must suck, being with this guy. I mean, really, I would make a joke about it, but I'm just talking about how low quality of a human being both you and him must be, because if that's how he is in public, you must be the scum of the earth if you're in love with this guy. You're hanging out. You go out with this guy that stands out of all these strangers in this room is a terrible person.
Because
The guy yelling at you dressed really weird. That sounds crazy, but that's typically just a Saturday in L.A. Fucking never gets old. Go ahead, Sam.
It gets
I had to
really
grab
old
the
really
moment
quick.
quickly.
Because
it's my new hook.
But that because you did that, it's not going to exist in the club. Like they're going to get in the car and she's going to go, I don't know why you'd let him talk to me like that. I don't know, and it's just going to inundate him.
Oh yeah.
You when I saw you headline Caroline's, it was a little while ago.
Yeah, I think it was last November. Or something.
Yeah, you had to throw a couple out.
Oh yeah.
You had to, but like security wasn't coming. You had to talk them out of the room.
Yeah, I've done that quite a few times. It happens.
Yeah, and they got very offended that the comedian on stage, look at your shoes, look at you, like they were like really fighting back.
The only time I ever have to kick somebody out is when they have blacked out drunk, pretty much. That's the one, that's my kryptonite, is like you really can't beat sloppy day drunk, pretty much. Like even night drunk I can handle, like it's in my zone. But and I know you can tell from a mile away if they've been day drinking. You hear it in your first few minutes up there. It doesn't become a problem until 20 minutes later, but you hear the rumblings. You just freaking
can feel
it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That low murmur that you're like, sometimes what I do, and this will at times work, is I'll talk quieter or I'll slow down. Like I did that in Philly one night. It was a crazy Halloween weekend, so they were all drunk. And I'm talking.
Crazy.
Yeah. But it was like, a amped up energy in the room.
Sounds like an LA Halloween weekend.
No, nothing like LA.
Oh, totally different.
No,
okay.
no way, man. I can only do that joke when it means something.
Of course. It's too much integrity behind it.
And I started talking very quietly and just doing this for just a second, because then that sound gets isolated, and then you can hear him, and then you know who's talking, but then he would stop. So sometimes that will shut them up if they realize they're being loud.
Yeah.
But other times they just amp up, and then at least you know who the fuck is talking at
That's
that
an
point.
interesting approach, because I always do the opposite. I always try to go louder and make them back down, but that's...
Well, he wasn't talking to me. He was just at the table talking.
Right.
Sometimes when there's things going back and forth, and when you do that, then they become self-conscious, and then you're also not burning material because you're talking about something kind of mundane for a second.
And it also helps, I would think, because then all of a sudden the audience is hearing them talk, so then when you do light them up, it's like, dude, we all hear you, you know what I mean?
They all hear you, yeah. Sometimes I'll say, hey, keep it down to adult roar. That always gets the crowd on my side.
That's fun.
Yeah,
Because it's fun. Because it's like we're all having a good time.
Keeps them in line.
That's good.
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
did you develop your armor? Like, I'm not talking to you.
All right, well, how do I know?
Like if Earthquake, came from the key rooms, and that's why. Like, where did you kind
Comedy store between the hours of 12:30 a.m. and 2:30 a.m. It used to be open even later than that. Like,
what happened to Brian Holtzman, by the way?
He's still there. He's great.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Brian's
he's so fun. We always, like, me and Rogan will make a point if he's there on a Saturday main room, like Saturday night, we'll go in after doing our spots and everything and kicking it for a bit. We'll go, and he's one of the only comics that we watch ever.
Does he go on last still?
Yeah. Oh, it's so funny. It's so funny. The material is pretty much probably what you've seen, but it never, gets old. I mean, he's just unbelievable. He's got the most fun delivery and just, and it changes. That's a guy that in between the jokes, like, really will just be in the moment and crazy. And, when people are walking out, he just owns that last spot. He's really great at it.
I love how much Rogan still enjoys comedy, because, like, it's funny that you were saying that he does that, because remember when we were in Vegas, we all went out to see Dice.
Oh, he's told me about this. And you were with those guys?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And I mean, he was laughing harder than anybody in the room. Rogan was. Like, he had the time of his life.
He loves it. And everything he does, he loves. I mean, Rogan's a super freakish human being. He really is. I mean, if you think about his body of work, like, Fear Factor even is such a hilarious show. If you look at what it is, that seems like a dream show for anybody. Plus, you talk about coming back, Fear Factor, that return that it made, the money that he probably made from it, getting paid to have people drinking bull semen or whatever.
And he doesn't have to do any of it.
Right. And he's just doing what he does in the UFC, which is basically just being reactionary. Like,
right. Just being like a super fan and an educated,
Yeah, but he loves the UFC, sits in the front row of his favorite sport, throws on a headset, no prep, just kills it. You know what I mean? Well, I mean, like, he knows everything just from being a fan of it.
Right.
Same thing with comedy. Super fan of comedy. A fan of knocking out deer with an arrow from 400 yards away.
Yeah.
He's an amazing human, and what was my point? Oh, he just does what he loves, like, and that's a cool thing about getting to work with him, and that's what him and I do talk about. We're not talking. I don't choke out bears with my bare hands like he does. The only pretty much thing that we relate about is our love for stand up and talking about crazy stuff like hecklers and shows and all that.
But when you're around a guy like that, do you go like, okay, this is. Because a lot of people don't have that, right? They don't have that type of a person in their life, so they don't think to themselves, I could just do the things that I love to do. Like, I just spend my life doing the things that I like.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's totally inspirational.
Right.
It's incredible. He's the one that told me to shoot my own special and just knock it out and worry about it later, and I did, and that was a huge game changer for me.
Yeah.
And just everything. I mean, he's just a superior sort of, and then he's like a father, and his kids love him, and it's sort of crazy because what I come from, I mean, there's just a bunch of losers around me when I was a kid in Ohio, and my dad, and I mean, but just a ton of people. Everybody's a loser. And then all of a sudden you see some guy that can do everything, and it's like, wow, that's crazy.
I should try to do stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do what you want. You can knock it out and just do what you want.
Were people telling you when you did the special, because we were talking about the special before you came in, and how it was all, done in one shot with no cuts, like Birdman. Mm-hmm. Did you? How many shows did you film?
Yeah, how many shows? How many cameras? Was it
just
a budget
one
decision?
show, one camera? I made it myself. I hired a Steadicam guy, a director, an audio guy, the club. One show. I had one shot at it, and that was it.
Were there any moments you wish you could have done better?
Oh yeah, pretty much the whole thing. Yeah, it wasn't. It was probably wasn't even in my top 80 percentile of sets that I had. That year. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But it was also one of those things to where, and I know this sounds cheesy, but artistically, I sort of wanted it to be different, and I sort of wanted to give the people, like, it sounds weird, but like a real experience that's different than just ga. Here's the way, what I'm getting at is, like, anytime I sort of glance upon a special or see one for a second, because I don't really watch stand-up on a screen anymore ever, because I get to stumble in on a Holtzman or a Joey Diaz or whatever, and it's like I'm sort of numb to it all. But anyway, I always feel like the laughs are like too long on specials when you're watching. It's a big theater. If you're watching on your couch by yourself, you're not laughing as hard as the people in the theater, right? So I always just feel like it should be tighter and whatever. So I helped that by not getting many laughs on my special. No, I mean, like, you know, it's just one of those things where I shot it in the club, and you know, it's just sort of raw and real. And
club?
The Ice House,
okay,
in Pasadena. Oh, the freeway trip. I mean,
oh my God, what freeway do you take there?
Well, actually, it's the 110 North.
Okay.
No joke about the 110
That
North?
one's allowed.
No, why would I?
It's not that.
No. It's a good point. It's a good point. Why'd you decide to do one shot? I'm sure we talked about this before.
Well, no, again, this was sort of just like I've always been a fan of Scorsese and Tarantino and those kinds of cool...
That Goodfellas scene where they're walking into the Copa?
Totally,
Yeah.
and in the beginning and end of my special, I sort of pay homage to that because I start outside of the comedy club, and it walks in and follows me in and goes behind me and around, and then when I leave, it follows me back out to the same spot. And
that's all part of the one shot?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
so it starts outside, and then I end up where I started, and it ends how it started, and it really is. I mean, it's one continuous cut. At the end of it, like when they said cut, I literally go, "Did you guys get that? Was there any problem?" Like, I mean, you just don't know because I really only did have one.
Or if they're like, "Oh, we didn't know. We forgot you wanted us to follow you outside." And you're like,
right?
the fuck?
I mean, just anything. A battery could have died.
Right.
You know, anything could have happened. And there were a couple points to where, you know, the tilt or whatever, I don't know, Steadicam technology or whatever, the tilt went off, and they had to go in and correct it like millisecond by millisecond. It was a whole thing afterwards in editing. But yeah, I mean, it was so amazing, and you know, it was one of those things to where to get to have it go to Netflix.
yeah.
It was insane.
What do you do now? Like, what like, because that's such a big highlight. Like,
Yeah.
how do you maintain that buzz?
Well, just by writing and keep performing and getting ready for the next one. You know, wowing people when they see me, and having my next material be better than my old stuff. You know what I mean? It's just trying to follow the momentum and just keep having fun.
It feels so good to do a new joke that works. Oh, it's fucking
does.
nothing
It's
better.
the greatest thing in the world.
When
I
it
mean,
starts working a new bit. Yeah.
that's the talk that Rogan and I have more than anything. Is we talk about new bits because it's literally like you know, it's like having a baby.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, this came from something inside of me, and now it does that to people, that reaction.
Normally, it comes from something I'm wiping off my chest or face.
Do you date? Do you have any perversions?
Do I date? Do I have perversions?
Yeah, are you in a relationship?
And I just got out of one. Newly single for the first time.
How
in a
long,
really
how long were
long
you
time.
in it?
Well, I was in this past relationship for like a year, but I went straight out of one into another one, and so I've been. This is my first time being single in about 4 years.
Did I meet her or no?
I
I don't know if I did in New York when we were at the deli.
no.
I might have. I don't remember.
No, there
Somebody
was
else. Jeff Ross came up with some. Okay.
Yeah, that was Jeff. Yeah,
was Jeff.
Jeff was with.
Are relationships tough for you just because you have such an intensity about like your work? Because I've gotten to know you a little bit, and you just strike me. You're very intense about.
Yeah, I mean,
What do you do for a
I'm
living?
grinding continuously, and yeah, that definitely plays a role in things not going great with relationships.
Right.
It's definitely something that I've learned is that, you know, if the relationship's good, then it goes bad, and if the relationship's bad and you're still in it, living my lifestyle, going to, you know, hustling from this to a writing gig to an audition in the middle of that writing producing gig, and then right after that audition I have to go back to the writing producing gig, and then right after that I have a friend coming in town who's coming to see me tonight where I'm performing at the store, and then I have to go hang out at Roast Battle right after that at midnight, and then do it again tomorrow morning. So it's like there's literally no time. This is just a random Tuesday in LA, you know. But my point is like you know, there's just nothing. There's no chance. And not to mention, you know, I'm sort of having cool stuff happen for the first time ever, going to Australia for 2 weeks.
Right.
And just, you know, like I did the Wilbur Theater in Boston a few weeks. They're just cooler, bigger gigs than I've ever imagined. So it just sort of takes me out of it a little bit.
And relationships are tough in that scenario because as you're like, at first you're like, okay, the relationship might have to suffer a little because you have to grind as much as you do to get to this next spot. But then once you get to that next spot, there's only more.
And you attract
right?
hotter girls. That's the best part.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you realize, like, well, I can fuck all three of them, not just the one at home.
Yeah,
Very hard to be faithful.
I can get Netflix girls now.
Very hard not to fucking at least intrigue sexually, even if you don't cheat. Just you know, it's hard not to take advantage of it. As I like to say, the fruits of one's labor. You know what I mean? It's very difficult to not, especially for comics who are usually low self-esteem morons.
Yeah, didn't grow up with it, right?
Right.
So you start to indulge.
Yeah. Totally. I've always had, smaller frame. I mean, I was always like sort of cool for being funny in high school, but that didn't really get me laid. You know what I mean? And now it's like, boom! All of a sudden, just somebody flipped a switch, and it's just like, there's beautiful, beautiful women, and sometimes they're not even beautiful. Sometimes it's just something sexy about a half ugly chick. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Just a pig with a good attitude.
That's what it's a workhorse. That's
it really is.
Yeah.
Fucking, Clydesdale, very efficient. Fucking plow horse. You know what I mean? The type of girl you wouldn't like want to fucking be in a photo album with, but she'll slide 3 fingers in your ass and worship your feet. That's a fucking great girl.
That is, right?
Sure.
So you have is it easier to work on the level that you're working on right now, being single? It's got to be, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because you just sink everything into it.
Yeah, then the thing with me is that I'm not like, even though all this stuff happens, it's not like I'm some soulless asshole. Like I would feel bad for this poor girl that did feel like she wanted to just, all I want to do is like hang out and get dinner or go to a movie or something, and it's like, damn, God, I can't believe I can't do that. I feel bad, and then you feel bad during the day and on your way from one place to the next, instead of thinking of that next joke or something silly or just anything to prepare for your next thing.
Right.
You're sort of just like, hey, I hope everything's okay. And it's like, you get a text back, it's not okay.
Right.
And it's like, oh, God. Then you feel bad, you know what I mean?
Then you resent them and you start getting angry. It's like, this is a job. What do you think this is?
Yep. And
Right.
Fucking
and
hobby?
Then just everything's spun out of control.
Yeah.
Then
Because instead of working on your shit, you're like your mind is clouded with, am I a bad person? Like, am I?
Right.
And you're like, I don't have time to be wondering that.
and that's something you don't want to be wondering right before you go on stage or have to
No.
punch up something.
Right.
Or,
Yeah.
I don't deserve to have people laugh at me and have a good time. I'm a piece of shit.
I can't even have the one person who supposedly I love and loves me happy. I
Right.
can't even make them happy. I'm gonna make a stranger happy with that wants to jingle their keys in 10 seconds. you
Right.
know?
Did you end it or did she?
It was super mutual.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Was it an angry one or kind of like, hey?
Pretty angry. Pretty angry, yeah. Pretty long, brewing, tough. We were deeply, deeply, deeply in love when we very first started. Like it was like seemed like a super perfect match, and then all of a sudden, just boom, train wreck.
What was the first like little chink in the armor?
Chink in the armor was I ruined it. I mean, I messed up. I went and I cheated and that was it. And she went through my phone, found out, and that was it. Those are two things that once those two things happen, it's on.
Had she? I believe me, I've had the phone one. It's an impossible. It's like literally you're carrying around an undeniable record in your hand.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's hard to delete that stuff too because it's fun to go back and jerk off to.
But it's like even like on a psychological, even though you have now the guilt of I cheated on you.
That's so naive.
But
what a cute thought.
but you also end up with this severe resentment. Like, get the fuck out of my phone. Like, let me live my life.
And
Get out of my space.
The crazy thing, and I know, and again, I know this sounds cheesy too, but when I did the cheating thing, my thought at the time, my mentality truly was, I like this girl that's the new girlfriend so much that since I just went straight from, this was in the very beginning of this relationship, and my thought process was, since I just got out of a relationship and straight into this one, I'm going to do this because I know I'm going to be with this girl for a long time. So I'm out of town. This is my one chance to do this.
Better
get
get
it out
this
of my
out of my-
system.
Yeah.
Right. And it was the opposite. Instead, because I did that, it ruined everything.
What'd you find? What did she find on the phone? Was it a picture or was it a text that was undeniable?
Yeah, it was just it was enough.
A back and forth.
Enough messages, yeah.
Okay.
Last night was great type of thing.
No, you did it more than once.
No, it was just one time. But
was she able to forgive you or no?
No, it never got better, and then
Sure.
it got worse because then yes, the resentment began and all this, and then all of a sudden I got so mad that you do start messaging other people and this and that, and then all of a sudden, boom, she found that somehow, and like it was just on, you know what I mean?
It's hard,
the whole
man.
thing was just out of control because she was just trying to figure out what she could do or what the problem was. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but you're absolutely right. These devices, it's a whole new thing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, back in the day, you would have to, I'd imagine, find an actual love letter. You'd have to intercept it in the mail. Like, what is this letter
Right.
that this girl sent you, sir boyfriend? You know what I mean?
Find
Like,
the old shoebox full of saved
And
love
now-
letters.
love letters.
Or,
and
like,
now it's just everywhere. And
Yeah.
like there's ways to like crack it. You know what I mean? Like if your phone rings and you're in another room or whatever, you don't have to have the passcode, right? Or something like that. Somebody could just open it and then it's open and then you have it. Am I right? Like
You
there's
could
ways
open
to-
it, probably hang up the call real quick, and then go through the phone.
Yeah, exactly.
or if you have the iCloud thing
Yep. That's
and you forget that your texts come up on your computer.
Oh, that's crazy. With
And
the
then
iPad. Oh,
somebody's using your computer.
yeah, that's what actually did it for me. It wasn't actually the phone. It was an iPad connected to the phone in the iCloud,
Yep.
and it wired it all in.
that fucking iCloud. I would literally rather fucking just jot down my information with a pencil, like copy it from my phone, than use that shit iCloud.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
not delete stuff? Oh, she saw it as it came in. Yeah.
Well, I don't even do it anymore. I won't even connect to the iCloud
No, it
anymore.
sucks.
And it sucks because my notes and now my recordings, all my sets and all my jokes and everything, I liked the iCloud for that. But it's just not worth it to me to have anything out there. You learn immediately. Like, I mean, and it's not like I'm just hooking up with all these chicks. It has nothing to do with like, you know, protecting myself from people knowing what I'm doing with girls. It's not about that. It's just about everything, man. It's so weird, this thing where it's just crazy.
How many? Let me ask you, Tony. And
Yeah.
Sam's married. If you open your phone, how many text messages down is it? Like, not who is it, but how many text messages down is it from the top where there's something that would be embarrassing?
Probably almost immediately.
Like one of the first
I can
conversations.
tell you. I'm literally curious.
Yeah. I'd like that. Jim, how about for you? Open up your text messages, and if you go down the list, what is where do you get to a conversation that you don't need everybody seeing?
Not as many as I would. I actually more. First, ex-girlfriend is a friend of mine. Second, buddy of mine. Third, girl that I'm working on, but we haven't said anything embarrassing. So there's nothing in there I wouldn't want you to see. Fourth is Bob Eatman, which is probably the most humiliating on a career level. The fifth is my friend who we saw last night. So there's a couple of personal things in there.
Right.
But that was somebody who was like a legitimate friend, so that's not like a real bad one.
Well, you specifically had a clean night.
You last night.
And
a female friend and a director. Wow. Oh, boy. Yeah, number 7 or 8.
What about you, Tony?
My older brother makes, you know, I guess I'm going to talk about it on radio, but instead, I mean, you know, my older brother makes an N-word joke like 5 messages down.
I like that.
Straight into the text message.
Right.
And
it's one thing to mention that it happened on the radio because there's plausible deniability and stuff, but I don't think he needs that in text showing up anywhere.
Do you delete stuff? Like I hate to delete text.
Yeah.
Are you a deleter?
No, I can't. I
Same.
don't do it. Yeah, it's
No.
weird.
So much easier just to get rid of them.
Yeah. I can't do it though,
I
because
can't.
then
I don't delete text either.
Because then I don't. Then if it starts back up again, you don't know where it left off or anything like that. You know what I mean?
It's a weird save thing. Snapchat, I follow like very few people on Snapchat because you can't save them. But now I'm watching. I'm like, yeah, I don't need to save every interaction. I think that's why really young people like Snapchat, because for them, they've always had stuff that was savable and collectible and capturable.
But you're also a
Now they
collector
don't.
of things, like the same way I am.
Yes.
Like I don't ever like to throw anything out.
I collect laughter. I mean, not to be too like maudlin, but I collect laughter.
Yeah, well, the collection's not going well.
I'm just saying.
Are you a collector of things? Or not really?
Not really. I mean, you mean just anything?
Like stuff, yeah. Like Jim and I both are the type of people that have
Savers.
a lot of stuff.
We hoard, but not dirty shit. Like just things I've my
In
career.
general.
Or, yeah, just
You know
nonsense.
what I do save that I can't get rid of, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it, is everything I've ever written. Like no matter what the
Like
show
notebooks.
or anything.
me
the
too. That's great.
Stacks of papers of just scribbled notes, and you'll be going through one thing, and you're like, "Wow, this is from the Trump roast."
Right.
Oh my God, this is
I get
just
that.
craziness. Just
This is because we all think we're Da Vinci on some level.
Of course.
And then someone's gonna find these notes someday and then do something with them. They're just worthless garbage, but I save them. Packing slips, fragile stickers from 1990 when I started, and I worked at Christoph Silver, and I would write down jokes on the fucking as I was packing silverware.
Yeah,
it's like I saved all that shit.
Yeah. We should break because Kerry Keegan's coming in, but Tony Hinchcliffe, and thanks for having us on Kill Tony last night.
It was really fun, man. You was a good host, dude. It was very, very enjoyable.
You guys were great. That was so much fun.
I hope you didn't mind that I didn't talk that much, but it's almost like
no one minds that.
But you were great. You asked some great questions.
Yeah, there's so many funny people.
Yeah,
that are all involved in that from the band to the dais or whatever you'd call it, and the comedians. A lot of them were some of them were really good. I was kind of bummed because with the episode we taped last night, a bunch of the ones that I wanted to be like that was not good. They were like, it's my first time on stage, and I was like, actually really not bad for your first time on stage.
For their first time, they were actually like really good.
Or they were nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For me, it's hard to be really nasty to a comedian who's nice if he's new. Like,
right. Like
if a guy was a dick. But
the poor guy that did the 60-second long Holocaust joke that was 59 seconds of setup. Yeah. All the math and everything.
Terrible.
Yeah, we made fun of other stuff on. He was made fun of because of his outfit and his clothes. He really did look like David Berkowitz too. He really should have been shooting a couple.
You can get Kill Tony on iTunes. Where else?
It's on YouTube, Vimeo.
Awesome.
Catch it on Ustream live streaming every Monday live from the Comedy Store, or see it live there.
Amazing. And anything else?
Your special on Netflix.
Netflix special called One Shot, Spokane, Washington this weekend. Kill Tony's at the Houston Come and Take It Fest in the middle of November, and I'm going to be in New York City for UFC 205 and with Rogan.
Oh, good.
Doing Big J's show the night before that.
I'm doing that one night too.
Crowd work one?
Yes,
cool.
But I think I'm doing it the Wednesday because the Thursday I couldn't for some reason. I forget why.
Awesome.
I don't know why I had to bore everybody on the radio with that. I could have just said I'm doing it too.
Yeah, you had to take Tony's plug away from him and make it yours.
No, it was
really
ours.
Nice.
But
really
it helps
nice.
promote the show because two of us are doing it. People go, hey, if I like both of them, I could see both shows.
Yeah.
Hey.
Trust me.
It's the same show.
It's called Synergy. You wouldn't know about that.
And that's called What's Your Fucking Deal? And I believe that's on CISO coming out, right?
Is that Jay's?
Yeah.
Excellent. Tony, thank you.
Hey, thank you guys.
Always good seeing you, man.
Yeah, you're the best, Sam.
And we'll be back with Kerry Keegan after this.
Yep.
Welcome back.
Is there an audio problem? If there is, please fix it in New York. Because I saw something on Twitter that there's an audio problem.
Just one person?
Yeah, but there's always more people.
Welcome back. It's Jim Norton and Sam Roberts. We're live from Los Angeles. We'll be live again tomorrow and all this week, starting at 8 a.m. Pacific, which is 11 a.m. Eastern this week only, because we need to be on at an appropriate time so some of our exciting guests can come in. For instance...
Studio time, by the way, before you introduce Carrie, was also hard to get when we...
Yeah, it was. Kerry Keegan is here.
What's up, motherfucker?
Welcome, Kerry. You got so much going on. I guess... right now, like you're gearing up to have so much going on, right? Like it's done, but now everybody gets to find out about it.
That's what happens when you write a book. It's like entirely, you spend 1,000 days writing it, and you feel like you've been in a closet in the dark by yourself.
I know that feeling.
And then all of a sudden, everyone knows.
Yeah.
And it's all very exciting. It's like, yeah, but I've been living this for 4 years.
Yeah.
Have you read it for 4 years?
No, well, not exactly, no. But yes, I mean, I feel like it has been.
What's it about?
It's called Everybody Curses, I swear. So you can imagine. I mean, basically, I started in this business interviewing celebrities on No Good TV, NGTV.com, and every A-list celebrity you could possibly think of was cussing their ass off.
Now, how did you end up getting that kind of access in the beginning? Is it because you were one of the first kind of giant YouTube things?
Well, because you're very attractive. That helps. Yeah, people want to
it doesn't
thanks.
hurt.
No.
Well, we started out as a partner on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that helped. But then, I mean, you don't always get access just because you're with YouTube.
Right.
And we were one of the first YouTube partners. So we definitely were not. It wasn't because of YouTube that we ended up getting all the access. But you cut your teeth. You just keep doing it. You get into one and then you don't fuck it up. You keep going back and they keep inviting you. The celebrities enjoyed it. So we just kept coming back.
How were they? Did any of them hit on you? I'm sure all of them did.
Not as many as you would think. This is a very professional thing, these junkets and these interviews. You know how this goes.
Junkets is different, but I mean, yeah. But sometimes, you get an actor who's half hungover or whatever.
Yeah, like right now.
Are you hungover?
I'm fucked up right now.
Are you?
Dude, it was Halloween yesterday.
You had fun at the Halloween parade?
Halloween's my favorite holiday of the year. I live for this shit.
By the way, that's the best sidestep of a subject ever.
Yeah.
So, did anybody try to have sex with you? Oh my God, did you see the float?
Woo, the drag queens. Not as many as you would think.
Yeah. All right.
I wish sometimes that there were more.
Yeah, you do.
But then not really.
Yeah.
That gets old.
I imagine it does, but it's also people who are
I
entitled.
wouldn't imagine that it does.
If you're
Having
a
sex
hot
with
girl-
celebrities?
No, but if you're a hot girl and just guys hitting on celebrities hitting on you, almost entitled, like they're expecting.
Wait. I think you can actually take out one word from that sentence. If you're a girl.
Oh yeah.
And people are hitting on you all the time. I mean, pretty much if you're breathing and you have the like slight maybe a boob, someone's going to be hitting on you all the time.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it goes. So,
And
yeah.
it gets old.
I mean, sometimes it gets old.
Right.
That being said, I'm not telling anybody to stop.
Right, because with the only thing worse than that getting old is if it stops
If
happening.
it stops
Yes.
entirely, wait, what happened?
Right, and you're like, oh
Is
no.
it something I said?
Yes.
People complain about signing autographs, then people stop asking. They're like, "Fuck! I wish somebody would notice that I'm here."
Am I not
Right.
cool anymore?
Yeah.
What
Right.
happened?
Right.
Yeah.
Is
Right.
Schwarzenegger hosting this year? This.
Oh yeah, so I'm on Celebrity Apprentice. It starts in January, and it's a whole new thing. They are filming it in L.A. Arnold Schwarzenegger is now the host, and it's fun.
Who else is on it?
Lots of people. Oh,
Our
there's 60
pal
of us.
Matt Eisman's on it. From American Ninja Warrior. He's a big
Yeah.
fan. Yeah.
Matt's on it. Boy George, Vince Neil, John Lovitz, who is hysterical, by the
Yeah.
way. He doesn't go anywhere without his dog Jerry. Have you met Jerry?
I have not met Jerry.
No, we haven't met
Oh,
Jerry.
you
No,
guys
my
have
friend
to-
had a cousin who did stand up named Jerry years ago. Facts of
I
life.
don't think it's the same. Jerry is this tiny little dog with this ridiculous underbite, and he doesn't go anywhere without Jerry. You have to look him up. Like, Google his face. He's ridiculous looking.
Were you bummed? Because I'm a ridiculous Celebrity Apprentice fan.
Are you?
Oh, I mean, I've watched every season like religiously.
Really?
Like crazy.
So you'll be watching this season?
Yeah, but if I was on Celebrity Apprentice and I found out Donald
They'd have
was
to rename it.
Apprentice would
Yeah,
be fine.
nobody apprentice.
You know they have the other apprentice.
Yeah,
if
we'll
you
see
need
when
a
we're
real
doing
job.
the other. But I'd be bummed out if I found out Donald wasn't hosting.
Why?
Because I liked watching the show when Donald was hosting.
Well, maybe you'll like it better with the governor.
Do you think so?
Potentially.
How
Listen,
long were the boardrooms?
how long were they?
Yeah.
I mean, some of them go on for hours. Honestly, they cut it down for TV.
Right.
But they don't make a quick decision.
Was it awkward because Trump endorsed him and said, hey, I can't picture of a better guy to do this. He's my friend. And now Arnold's going, that's the first Republican I'm not going to vote for as president. I wonder if there's any tension between those two guys now.
I'm sure that the stuff that's going on in politics right now is just messy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have to say, there's one thing that I'm really happy about this whole Trump situation is the word pussy is now like being said on every single news station.
Absolutely. It's so nice
thing.
that it's not being used to describe me.
And I mean, that just makes me happy. And it also makes me happy as a woman in this business, as a woman in life, that all of this stuff is now coming out that we have all dealt with.
Have you dealt with guys like something like
Somebody
that?
grabbed your pussy?
No.
Oh.
Not that way.
Oh.
I mean, figuratively.
Right.
But it's annoying, you know. And I'm not going to sit here and complain about
But if you had guys
life,
do
but-
stuff like Trump is talking about, like as a guy, I would never just grab somebody's crotch. I'm a
Right.
dirty guy, but I wouldn't do
No,
that.
as a human being, you shouldn't be grabbing someone's fucking cock.
but I'm saying, do you have stuff like that happen that like, wow, what he said, it really is believable that guys are doing that
Yes.
in the business?
Yes, it is amazing how much you have to go through just to get your foot in the door. I mean, when they say people sleep their way to the top or fuck their way to the top, they're not kidding.
So what like did somebody do that to you or try to do that to you when you were newer? Like now they couldn't get away with it, but I mean when you first started?
Yeah, I mean, when I first got to LA, I'm not going to name names, but he's a pretty prominent agent. We had a connection through a friend, so he was like, yeah, come out to dinner. So we went out to dinner, and literally, we had, a few drinks in, he was like, so why don't you should probably just fuck me, because I'm not going to rep you anyway.
Did he
What?
say
I'm like,
that? Why would you at least
wow.
pretend to rep somebody?
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah,
you. Not
right?
even play devil's advocate.
I think he just wanted to make sure that his lines were drawn so that he was covered.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you should say you should probably just fuck me because otherwise I'm not going to rep you.
Yeah,
Not
what
I'm
a
not going to
dope.
rep you anyway.
You never say that.
Yeah.
Dope.
Well, that shows you how smart agents can be.
I guess so. So that wasn't an aphrodisiac for you? That wasn't
Oh yeah, it totally turned me on.
It did, right?
Do you still see him around?
Yeah, and actually he's since apologized.
Oh, all right. That's a scumbag thing to say with somebody's like, you could try to get laid, but to do that when somebody is like legitimately trying to make it in the business is just shitty.
But
It happens all the time,
That's
though.
LA though. I mean, I don't know how much it happens
Just another
in your
Tuesday in
world.
LA.
Yeah, but it pretty much is. Yeah, it's so much fun.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's just fun.
This is great.
Yeah, every girl that I've heard from that's come out here, all the like hosts or whatever that try to make it, or the young ones, all of them are have people that exact same scenario
Yeah.
is happening to them.
Because I think at a certain point, when you get into a position of power, you don't even realize how degrading some of the things you say are.
Because the rules don't apply?
Right, that's
Because no one's watching.
Right.
And if I need something from you, I'm gonna pretty much take a lot of your shit, and because I need something from you.
What is something other than that somebody has said to you that whether you did it or not, but you just want like, well, that's fucking unusual to hear somebody do?
Oh God, so many things. Well, I mean, the one story that's coming to mind is a little bit different. I was working on a network here that no longer exists, and
CBS.
yeah,
That was a bad guesser.
I was a regular on that network, and all of a sudden one day they just stopped hiring me, and a year or so later, I ran into the head of that network, who was no longer going to be the head of that network. And I was like, how come? It's weird, I wish I could work with you guys again. I don't know what happened. And he's like, honestly, the women executives just thought your boobs were offensive. And I was like, so
what are
now
you gonna do?
I'm getting it from the other side?
Right.
Wow, how could you be offended by that? It's like saying I didn't like that there was 2 Lamborghinis in my garage. What's wrong with people?
I'm going to start calling them that.
Yeah.
That's shitty. So is there jealousy?
It's jealousy, yeah.
And they couldn't have just said like for the show, could you dress a certain way?
Well, I mean, when I did the show, they had a wardrobe department that was dressing me.
Dressing you, okay.
But I've gotten
kinda hard
that
to hide
my whole
them,
life. It's impossible for me to hide them.
Yeah.
Right now.
You
they're
didn't
out.
notice, Jim?
Honestly, no.
Oh.
I don't. I look eyes only.
Oh, that's it. Well, you're a charming guy. Carrie is, I'll tell you, a well-endowed woman.
Okay, well I don't look that way.
That's not
eyes
for you.
only, yes.
You're
Sorry about that.
So I wasted this outfit. is what you're saying?
Jim's just an old romantic.
Look down here.
help
Look
it.
down here.
I would not.
No, lower.
And she could always tell when a guy's catching a creepy glance, like when you look, you're like, I just could glance. She always tells.
Oh, it's hysterical to me when I'm meeting people, even executives or whatever. When I'm meeting people, and you're always like, "Hey, how you?" And there's always that quick glance down.
It's hard not to. Yeah.
Yes.
What about people who go in for the way too tight hug?
Oh,
You know what I mean? Because they want to cop a feel.
that's so fucking creepy.
Like they just start
But
pressing.
that reminds me of that Trump and Billy Bush thing when they came off the bus and they
And
were like, "Yeah, come on, give us a hug."
Yeah.
I'm like,
I feel bad now. We hugged when you came in.
Dude, I hugged you harder than you hugged me.
No, I
You were
know, but I
afraid to
made
hug me today.
But I made this sound.
Yeah.
I thought that was just my back cracking.
No, that was
You just bury your face in her neck.
mother.
Last time I actually saw you was in New York right after we roasted Boomer Esiason.
That's who the roast was. 'Cause we went to the Friars Club after, and I could not remember who we had just. I was just asking, who did we roast last time? And you, we were talking for a while, and then somebody dragged you off. That was talking to
Was
you.
it Jerry Lewis?
No,
Damn it.
no. You just wound up talking. I forget who, but you seem like you were being hustled off.
So how do you end up, like, after all these interactions with scumbags, how do you end up, like, I feel like so many people would not make friends with anyone anymore. Like, I'm just not going to talk to anybody anymore. If this is, like, because it's, you know
There
what
are
I mean?
definitely days I feel like that, for sure.
Where it's like
But
every
what fun is
conversation
that?
leads
That's
here.
not life.
I guess.
You just have to roll with the punches. At a certain point, I have to just own the fact that my tits are here.
Yes.
People are going to look at them. I'm not
Yeah.
going to be mad at it anymore.
Right.
Also, if I want to get somewhere in this business, I have to put up with a certain amount of crap.
Right.
And that you just keep rolling. You got to like put up the walls and just, I don't know. It's
Aside from that example that you gave with the women not feeling comfortable with your breasts, do you think that not sleeping with people has cost you jobs?
Oh, for sure.
It has?
Yes. I've met with producers of movies and directors and things. Abso-fucking-lutely.
Wow, and now they don't come right out and say it.
Right.
Because most guys are
No,
too
because that
smart.
would be gross.
Most guys are too smart. Right. So what is the way they'll phrase it where we both know what's being said, but yet, hey, it can't be proved in court?
Well, yeah. Is that Dee Snider out in the hallway?
Yeah.
Oh my God, sorry. Another Celebrity Apprentice.
Yeah.
I roasted D.
You did?
I did, yeah.
Everybody gets
with,
roasted.
with some fava beans.
And a nice Chianti.
Yeah. So like, what do they? How do you find out that that's the reason that you didn't get the job, or do you just understand the vibe
Oh
of the
no,
room?
you just know.
You
I
just
think the
got
first couple of times you're like, "Hey, well, I thought we got along so well."
Yeah.
And then no.
Yeah, no, we didn't get along that well.
Nope, we didn't get along at all. Actually,
One element of our relationship was missing.
Yeah.
Yeah, what will
the
tell
insertion.
you? Oh, yeah.
Right. So when you're younger and all that's happening, do you think to yourself, I don't know why I have so much integrity? Maybe I should just do this? Or has it always been like, I'm not gonna fuck people to get jobs?
I think in the very beginning, potentially, you start to question. But that's why I think Hollywood is so fucked up.
Right.
Is because you then start to internalize it and go, oh, maybe I'm doing it wrong.
Right.
Should I be doing this? You start taking it out on yourself. Your insecurities start to kick in, and you're like, "Well, I need to put out in order to do this. I need to, start doing things differently and like lowering my standards."
Yeah.
And stop looking at it this way because it's hurting me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you ever compromise that and regret it?
No.
You didn't.
No, and I talk about that in my book as well. The struggle of being a girl is real, and. No, at a certain point you just go, you know what? I did this for me. I'm doing this. I'm going to keep my standards. And everybody's standards are different. If you feel like you need to fuck your way to the top,
Right.
and you feel good about that, then bless you.
Yeah.
Go do it.
I wish I could.
You should.
Fuck your way to the top?
Yeah. Every time I fuck someone, I drop like one level. Poor
I
performance.
feel like, wah, wah. That makes me sad.
Me too.
I feel like you'd be good. I feel like you'd be a generous lover.
I am, yeah. I mean, I get in there and I try to stick around until the job's done.
You do?
Yeah.
It's just cool the way you talk about it.
Yeah, I'm sexy. I keep it kind of sexually
Right. Just
charged.
get in there until the job's done.
Yeah, try to.
How do you
Right.
feel about oral sex?
It's my favorite thing in the world.
You see, every guy in the world says that.
I know they do, but I'm telling you, it's my favorite. I believe me, I've told too many embarrassing truths about sex to lie now. I love oral sex.
Even if they have a vagina?
Yes, you know what? I've begun enjoying that. Yeah, but I prefer a vagina that's a bit. What's the word? Not necessarily the perfect looking ones. I like when they're a bit personality driven.
Personality driven vaginas?
Such as what? Now, I am not an aficionado of vaginas.
I don't mind the larger ones. Like the small ones are nice.
Like when the wind blows, you can.
Yeah, exactly. When it looks like you could work like a marionette. Like, I like those. Yeah, those.
How do you know? Can you? You know how they say you can tell what a man's penis looks like by his fingers? Or
It's
whatever?
not true.
Well, it kind of is. I believe that is true. But can
Oh,
you gauge
boy.
a woman's labia?
Skinny little fingers.
Yeah, exactly. and a crooked bent thumb.
Sorry.
You
Yeah,
tell
that's pretty
labia?
accurate.
No, but
Oh, he bites his nails.
I always get presents that will help, like
Okay.
white spandex shorts. That's how I can tell.
You do.
Yeah, but no, I like oral sex so much because there's so much less of a risk. And I talk for a living. I used to smoke. I like to eat compulsively. I'm scent driven, so I've always kind of enjoyed.
Yeah, but what if
So
you
you
get
have an
cancer?
oral fixation, is what you're saying.
very much. Yeah.
What if you get
Ladies,
cancer like Michael
this
Douglas?
is the biggest catch ever.
Yeah.
You don't worry about getting cancer like Michael Douglas?
If you're gonna get it, what better way to get it
That's true.
than fucking Catherine Zeta-Jones?
That's true. Nobody's going to sit there and be like, oh, like if you smoke and you get cancer, people are going to call you an idiot. But if that's how you get cancer,
Yeah, people high five you.
exactly,
Mad,
it's
yeah.
worth it.
Although you can just try and see their prescription for that pill that you can get now for the HPV virus.
But don't you need to be a certain young age for that?
You're supposed to take it, yeah, when you're, I think, adolescent.
Oh, I should find out about that. I mean, I don't think I've ever had a HPV, but I
You don't think so?
No.
It doesn't just go
What,
away,
you
does
know?
it? You either have it or you
don't know. No, but I think I've been tested for it and have it, or they can't test for it.
Yeah. Okay.
There's probably just so much other shit in there for you that it would just be under everything, you know?
You'd be surprised. You'd be very surprised. How lucky I've been.
Lurking beneath the surface.
I think so.
Yeah, you'd be very shocked.
So you enjoyed. It's weird though that they got Arnold to host Celebrity Apprentice because for all the shit that Donald has in his past, you know, that's been coming out as this election has.
Yeah.
I mean, Arnold's also a pig. You know what I mean?
You might want to rephrase that because it's her boss. Let me rephrase. Arnold has also had a couple of dubious or questionable things said, alleged.
None of that stuff, first of all, has anything to do with my experience with it.
On
Was he a gentleman?
Apprentice.
He was always a gentleman to me. He invited all of us up to his house one night.
Really?
for
No,
dinner.
he invited you and he told you everyone else was coming.
No, everyone was there.
They all
There's
said
photo
no.
proof.
How nice is his house?
It's pretty great, and it's got like governor paraphernalia and Terminator shit all over it. It's cool.
He keeps all his shit.
Yeah,
Like he
well,
loves the Terminator
Do
stuff.
they have the
cool
Terminator
stuff.
outfit?
I didn't see the outfit.
What'd you see
I
from
saw
the-
the skull.
Oh, I'd love
that's
to have
awesome.
that.
It's pretty awesome.
I'll be Bach. I do Arnold's impression.
He also has a
When?
mini horse,
He has a mini horse, like a living mini horse,
like a real live mini horse.
like in his backyard.
She just roams around.
Wow.
She's real cool.
I guess when you're Arnold and you're making that kind of money and you're that kind of famous, like you
Get
have
a
to
real
find-
horse.
Oh, you don't like the
Yeah,
mini
but
horse.
if you have a real horse, then you can't just let it roam around your kitchen. It's like a dog in there.
Oh, it roams around the house?
Yeah, it
Like
just
inside?
roams around. Yeah.
Probably shits all over.
Does it shit in the house?
You hire someone to
Maybe.
follow it with a shovel?
Yeah, exactly.
No, you can put little
Arnold.
diapers on them.
Does he have a diaper on his horse?
I didn't see the diaper on, but we weren't running in and out of the house either. So
Arnold's house smells like a stable.
Yeah, he's from Austria. He probably grew up broke, I think.
Exactly.
that's just Arnold.
They're just farm animals.
It's called musky.
That's it.
Yeah, he likes animals. He's got big. I heard there's had parties with elephants and stuff like that. Like some.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you end up making any enemies? I don't know if you probably can't talk
I can't
about.
actually tell you anything about it.
Can you tell me if you made any enemies? And I won't ask you who.
I can tell you that when you put 16 celebrities in a room, there's going to be some drama.
That's great. That's
You're
great.
going to have to tune in to find out who
yeah.
has drama.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna tune in. I fucking love Celebrity Apprentice.
When does it come on?
January, same time the book comes out.
January 2nd.
Oh,
Did you do that on purpose?
Book comes out January 10th.
Like released-
It was a happy accident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Works out for me, though,
it's a
doesn't
great
it?
accident.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. January 10th, January 2nd. Okay, now I'm going to take a guess
Yeah.
and say that Carrie got thrown off the first week because she is promoting the book the week after she got thrown off. There's
Or
a lot
she-
of news when you get booted off something, and that's a
Yeah.
That's a big assumption.
Yeah.
probably is. Yeah. I'm not good at Celebrity Apprentice guessing. I'm always wrong.
But it is true. Yeah, she's got to release it early in January because if she waits till February, she's already been gone off the show for 3 weeks.
That's it.
potentially.
And there's always heat around you when you get booted off. People want to know what happened. Why'd you get kicked off?
Right.
Also, it could have just been a happy accident. That's how it ended.
No, I'm a happy accident.
Thank you, Mama Norton.
There are a lot of good. I was reading before you came in the story about your interview with Justin Timberlake, where it's like it was just about his dick.
Lecoq.
Yeah. She just,
What happened? What'd you
she
talk
just
about?
had the transcript in there. Here's when I talked to Justin Timberlake, and she just wouldn't let it go.
When you have
What
a
did you
really
wanna know?
good like innuendo and
Right.
you can work it into every. There's so many dick puns out there.
Right.
Why not use all of them on Justin Timberlake, who is not shy of talking about his dick in the box?
Right. He doesn't mind.
He doesn't mind. So, I mean, that's just one of many wonderful interviews in my book.
What guy would mind talking? There's no guy minds talking about his dick. I don't think.
As long as you can make up stories about it. I
Well,
guess
unless
that's
you're
fine.
ashamed of it, like
Yeah.
bad circumcision.
Aha.
I didn't have a bad circumcision.
Shut up. Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Sam's penis. when he
Why
was-
do you know this, Jim?
Because
We're
the taste
co-hosts.
changed.
Oh, that means we pee together.
You know, he told us he
The
got a
taste.
circumcision when he was 19.
Yeah, I didn't get circumcised till I was 19.
Please tell me. Okay, I don't know if anybody's watching Shameless, but one of the characters
Yeah.
on Shameless has just got circumcised. He's like 13 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ow.
See, the character in Shameless gets hard-ons all the time, so he has to keep going back and getting it
Because
fixed.
he keeps ripping the stitches out.
I don't think it's possible, though. I mean, it really, the recovery fucking hurts.
How long did it last?
The recovery?
How long did it last?
Not long enough.
The recovery was like, it was probably a solid week of recovery, and then it was still, like, not ready for use.
How long until you could actually use it?
Do you feel like you know what Bobbit felt like?
No, because
No, Lorena, he does. A man was beating him.
it was probably. I mean, I would say, and I might have been more precautious than most.
Ooh.
3 weeks is when it's like, okay, that's my penis now.
So,
Because there's swelling and there's scars and stitches and everything.
do you just think of your grandmother for 3 weeks? Like, how
No, he couldn't get hard-ons.
Well, no, I mean,
I feel gross right now.
at least for the first week, you can get hard-ons after like the first week or so.
But during the first week, it would hurt, right?
Yeah, but like your dick hurts so much, you're not getting hard-ons anyway. Like it's not an issue.
So morning wood is not something that just happens naturally then when you're going through that?
No, because I mean, it just
They don't give you anything like saltpeter or any kind of pill to take to keep that. That's a good point too. At night, you're dreaming. Who knows?
Yeah, no, it was never because your dick is all bandaged up
Could
and
you
wrapped
put like
up.
Orajel on the tip of your dick? So just numb it topically?
I guess you could if you really had to.
Cocaine? Whatever works.
But there was literally like Carrie. I don't know how much detail you want to get into here, but there was like
I want to see it.
there was all right. There was like at one point, right? So like they wrap it up and they go, "There's like a gauze in there, right? Like under the bandaging." And I saw this big like purple, what looked like a gelatin almost pad, and I go, "That must be what they meant by the padding gauze thing under it." And like as I started to like undo it, I realized like no, that's my body swelled up.
Ew.
Like that's what that was.
His dick looked like Peter Boyle in Young Frankenstein.
Yeah. I mean, can I tell you, it healed up beautifully.
Did it?
Yes.
I think you should show it.
Yes,
So
but
later on Instagram.
right. But at the time, no, it was traumatic.
Why did you wait till you were 19? Like, why did you decide to?
Tell
I
her what
always
was
wonder
happening.
about-
Should I tell her?
Tell her what was happening.
So you met a girl, and she didn't like the sleeve.
No, it was. Well, it was worse than that.
You met a dude.
There's
And he loved the sleeve. Sam was being passive aggressive.
right, exactly. He cheated on me, so I took his favorite sleeve away. You know, there's I didn't know it was called phimosis until Dr. Steve called up and talked about that it was called. Did you know it was called phimosis, Jim?
No, I did not.
There's a condition.
It sounds like dick cheese. Is this
It's not dick cheese.
No.
Have you ever been with a man?
spread some phimosis on the rye cracker?
Have you ever been with a man that's not circumcised?
Yeah.
You have. Okay. So
Which do you prefer?
I honestly, someone just asked me this. I honestly don't have a preference.
Okay.
The problem with uncircumcised
Yeah.
is you have to just really be vigilant about taking care of the cleanliness of the area.
Right.
Otherwise, you can give me all kinds of shit.
Right. And also, I mean, you know, you aside, most, especially American women, think uncircumcised penises are ugly.
Yeah, what? No, penises are beautiful.
Well, I think so too, but
Really?
so phimosis. So you may not know about this.
Yeah, Sam is an artist and his mouth is the palate.
You know how like you have to the foreskin, you have to pull it down.
Yeah.
So there's like a hole in the top of the foreskin, and that's what your dick comes out of.
Yeah.
Well, what would happen if the hole in the top of the foreskin was only big enough that you could piss out of it, but not big enough that you could get your dick out of the top of it?
Whoa.
So
The
that
head
your
of his penis was never exposed.
so that
turtle that can't get his head out of his shell.
yeah, exactly.
That would suck.
Right. It's like, you know, when you put on a rubber glove and you just keep stretching it, but you can't get your hand out of it. It's just like pulling against it.
It would hurt?
No, not unless. See, this is where it would hurt. The skin would just expand with it, so it would be, but it would just be wrapped up all the time. But at first, the urologist was like, "You got to do exercises to stretch out the thing," and that's when it like, if you do it aggressively, that shit hurts. Because like you gotta
exercises.
The things that are going on in my brain right
like you
now.
have to just sit there pulling on your foreskin, you know?
Yeah. Come on, you could do it. And 2, and 3, and 1, and 2.
Right.
So now that you know the difference between having it and not having it, foreskin, I mean,
Right.
Would you recommend people get circumcised?
Of course.
Really?
Of course. Number one, there's no risk to being circumcised.
But is there no reward to having your foreskin?
People are like, some people say sex is better because your head of your dick isn't exposed all the time.
I always thought it would be.
But I don't think. Look,
I'm clipped.
Thank you.
Nobody asked you.
I am too.
You just said so proud of yourself. But like, no. I mean, there are a lot of women that think circumcised dicks are ugly.
Uncircumcised dicks.
Yeah, uncircumcised dicks are
especially when the fucking skin doesn't come down.
And then forget about this.
It's like a fucking kid trying to take off a turtleneck.
Yeah.
It's just conditioning, though. It's just because that's what they've seen.
Right. Well, it is what it is.
And they see less of them. I love that an interview with Justin Timberlake is what brought this entire conversation up.
Well, what did you want to know about his penis?
He had phimosis.
Yeah. I've been in mimosas.
Wouldn't you want to know everything about his penis? What do you want to know about Justin
I'd want to know what Justin's packing.
I would too.
We can ask Jessica.
That's
true. He wouldn't tell us though. He'd be more likely to tell us if it's over 6. If it's 7 or above, he'd probably be happy to tell us. If it's under, he would probably not.
Yeah. Have you?
I feel like he's doing all right down there.
Have you had any public celebrity boyfriends?
No.
Not you.
No, I mean Carrie.
Oh.
Have you met my publicist?
No.
No, have you?
I am. Yeah.
Who have you dated that we know
That's
about?
been public, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about it, but that people know about, so it's not like you're telling tales out of school, you know.
I mean, if you Google me, you'll see a few names up there.
All right, Jim, you ask a question, I'm going to Google.
Okay.
Who's Carrie Keegan?
Now, do you not like to mention the names because there was a bad blood, or do you feel
No, never.
Are you friends with your exes?
Always.
Oh, you are? Okay.
I'm only not friends with one.
Who is it?
Because he's a dick.
Okay. How long ago did you end it?
Oh, God, that was forever ago.
And why did you not remain friends? Like, how was he a dick?
Because he fucked me over on something. I asked him to do something and he didn't do it, and so then once you've betrayed me, fuck you.
Yeah, you're like a warrior in that respect, right?
Was it financial?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't financial. Which, if it was money, money gets complicated. It wasn't money.
Oh.
Sam, comment.
I found one of a celebrity boyfriend.
Comment, Sam.
Are you in this relationship right now?
Not if you're seeing it online.
Oh.
This says Michael Sheen from Masters of Sex.
I don't know who Michael Sheen is.
You ever seen that show?
No. But boy, you just missed a really. Thank God you took Michael Sheen. There was a worse choice you could have made.
Oh.
He's actually in a very happy relationship with Sarah Silverman at the moment.
Oh, I see.
He's been with her for a couple of years.
So he just likes funny ladies, huh?
Apparently.
Yeah.
He's got good taste, I have to say.
That's very humble of you.
Yeah, but before that, he was with Kate Beckinsale for a bunch of years.
Man.
Has a
Kate
baby with her.
Beckinsale, oh yeah. She's
gorgeous.
Did I do, is she British?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you did.
I did Leno with her.
Yeah, you thought you
you
thought
get
something was going to happen.
She was
Really?
so
Did you think you had a
sexy.
chance?
No, but
yes, you did. You went back on the radio show and talked
I
about
don't
it.
think I had a chance, but she had said that she wanted to come see a show when she was in New York. So
And then you tried very hard to make sure that information got to her.
Absolutely.
And then, did she enjoy the show?
There was some kind of a communication lapse because the number I had wasn't hers.
Oh, no?
No, it was her assistant.
So then how'd she get the information?
I don't know if her assistant gave it to her. I texted the assistant. I thought it was hers.
And it was like, I'm naked right now. Would you like to come over?
No, she could see by the photo. It was just, hey, it's Jim. She goes, okay, well, this is her assistant. I was like,
oh, so
nerds.
So she gave you. She was like, oh, here, I'd love to come see a show. Reach out to this number, and you were like, oh,
sure.
Kate Beckinsale just gave me her phone number, and it was her assistant's number.
She was very funny and racy. We were sitting there in between on the commercial break.
Is that right?
Yeah, she was lovely.
I mean, we girls have to be careful. There always has to be like, the fat ugly friend or whatever. You know what I mean? Like there's always somebody in the in between.
Yeah.
So that if things go horribly wrong and she finds out you're a psycho, there's a way to run away.
So do you think that's what happened? She Googled Jim Norton and was like, I don't know if I want to.
I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
She was drunk when she gave you the number.
Yeah, she probably was a little fucked up.
You think so?
Yeah, exactly. Well, she didn't actually give it. She was passed out. I just took her phone out of her purse and called myself. It was her assistant's phone.
Do you like having a celebrity dating pool, or do you want to get out of that?
It's not necessary to me. No,
It's just
it's,
either.
It's just the thing is that's who I'm surrounded with all the time. So when you're in that pool of
people,
yeah, you just sort of.
That's who you
I mean,
end up-
I could end up with Jim any second now.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of women say that.
Not Kate Beckinsale, though.
It's not, no, and it's never true. They just say it.
They do.
They just say it to get out the door, and then when they're gone, it's like, no, we're not.
It's not going to happen. No. Oh, my God.
I'm a good guy to date, though.
Are you?
Yeah, I am, because nothing in your past will bother me.
Right.
I'll make it all perverted and enjoy it.
Yeah, but everything in your past will bother them.
That's a great point. It's give and take, Sam. It's give and take.
Doesn't everybody think they're a fucking catch, though?
I thought she was going to say, "Oh, everybody thinks your past is going to bother them."
Well,
She didn't say that.
No, doesn't everybody think they're a fucking catch? You know, I don't think I'm a catch.
You don't?
No. I think I'm a great rebound.
But like, have you ever met anyone that's like, oh my God, I'm the worst person to date?
Yes, and they dated me.
Yeah. Oh, that's Jim's dating pool, actually.
All right, now we know.
Do you think you're a catch?
I think that I'm cool. Like,
Yeah.
not much bothers me, and I'm pretty open to a lot of things. I like new adventures. I'll try stuff. So,
have you ever spanked a guy?
Sure.
Oh, that's all right, cool.
Right.
That's nice.
Is that really? Is that?
I'm not
for
big
that
on being
stuff?
spanked, but that just says something about it. A lot of women have it. A lot of women are totally submissive.
First step. That's
Thank
the
you.
gateway.
Absolutely. That's the marijuana of BDSM.
Right. So once you get them on heroin, it's pretty much the same. It's like if you're gonna.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you
I
have spank guys. Now, did you like doing that, or was it weird for you?
No, it's weird for me.
It is.
But you know,
You're more
you try it
submissive?
once or twice, and then
Are you more submissive? Because you're a dominant
not
personality.
necessarily.
Okay.
But I also like it when a guy is like, in charge.
Sure.
Or what? Not in charge. I
I
don't
know
know
what
what.
you mean.
But you know what I mean.
A lot of
Like,
women will say, "I like when a male is a man in bed."
When he's acting like a man, yeah.
Yeah.
It's so. It feels so not politically correct to say that.
But it's
though.
true. But
I
a lot
want
of
a
time-
man to be a man.
I'll do that though. Like, even if I'm losing my erection, I'll go, "Goddamn Chevys drive good." You know? I'll say man stuff.
That's cool. Yeah.
Thanks, Tim the Toolman.
To try to make up for it, you'll just do Tim Allen grunts.
Yeah, absolutely. As I'm going down now, y'all say man stuff. Football. But yeah, a lot of women say that, but it doesn't sound politically. But physically, they want a guy to be a certain.
It is
way.
what it is.
Yeah,
It's
dominant women feel that way because you're very in charge all day. You know what the fuck you're doing. You're very capable, and a lot of women like that. Like they tend to go the other way.
Confidence on any level is sexy for sure.
Plus, as somebody who's been in show business for a minute, you've survived. You know what I mean? Which means that
I'm a survivor.
right. Which means that you have to fight. You know what I mean? In show business.
Wait, I don't need to fight with you in order for us to have good sex. I'm not one of those.
No, you have to fight there. So when you get home, you don't need all the fighting and the everything.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
Yep, I like
you submit
that.
a little bit because in life,
Yeah.
you don't have the option.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, I don't want to have to make all the decisions all the time.
Right. Have you been in relationships where you're the breadwinner?
Yeah.
Do you like that? Or does that
You
get?
can't.
It's fine until I'm not making any money, and then it's like,
Yeah. What do you?
What kind of job did the guy have that you were winning the bread?
musicians, come on. What else would they be? Stand-ups?
Yeah, sure. In the arts, yeah.
Yeah.
Stand-ups though have a more consistent way of making money. I think musicians is hard. I mean, that's a rough gig because if the band breaks up, then you have nothing.
Right.
That's a hard fucking go.
Just hoping.
Yeah,
that-
but I mean, to me, stand-up is the hardest thing on the planet. What you guys do is, it's like bow down to you. It is so, you're up there naked, telling everyone
And they're
about.
laughing. Yeah, so it's not.
I mean, I have a whole chapter in the book about stand-ups. They're actually my favorite people in the world to interview.
have you dated stand-ups?
No, not properly. So I don't know all the psychoses.
Yeah, there's a little odd stuff with comics, but yeah, comics probably are decent interviews because comics will give information comfortably. And when you're interviewing people, there's nothing worse than someone who won't give information. That's all you ask for. It's like it's my job to ask questions or your job to ask questions, but if someone won't answer them or gives like one-word answers, actors can be shitty.
Oh yeah.
Not always. Some athletes can be shitty.
I talk about that in my book too.
You do like what? Bad interviews.
They're. I mean, I've luckily not had a ton. But
Who was a bad
they're
interview you had?
Oh God, Bruce Willis is the worst fucking.
Was he really?
He's terrible?
I don't know Bruce, so I don't know what he's like as an interview. Why was he bad?
I got a whole chapter.
I heard he's a giant penis, by the way. I've heard that about Bruce.
Have
Willis.
you?
Yes, I have.
Well, I guess you can be a bad interview when you know you have a giant dick.
You have a bit, but you're a bad interview because you have a giant dick.
That's
I would
it.
never say anything. I'll just keep pointing. So why
Are
was
we
he
talking
bad?
about his head right now?
Oh, why was he bad?
You know, you have to read the book to get the whole story. But
Yeah, in a nutshell, yeah.
ultimately, what I thought he was going to be, which everyone growing up who knew who Bruce Willis was, like I was obsessed. I thought he was amazing. He was like the perfect guy to me in every way.
Right.
And then I met him, and it was like, holy shit. And you know, I tried to have fun with him. The man had zero sense of humor.
Wow. Why?
I don't know.
Was he rude?
He was rude. He got up and walked out on me. I'm just saying.
What was the last thing you said before he walked out?
You have to read the book for that. I can't give the whole thing away.
Now you don't want to give away the end. That's fair. But was it going poor? Were you being confrontational or too personal?
No, I never get confrontational. I literally made a joke.
Okay.
And he didn't like the joke.
And he didn't like my joke.
Well, if you're not going to take this seriously, I'm leaving.
Well, it wasn't even that. But anyway, it's a sad thing. But what I did realize is that when you meet people that, you know, when you meet your heroes, they always tell you don't meet your heroes.
Yeah.
But sometimes when bad things happen to you, you take it as a learning experience.
Right.
And you grow from it.
Right.
I haven't had any heroes be real dicks. I don't. And Gene Simmons was once, but then every time I've seen him after that, he was great.
Gene Simmons used to be my business partner.
Was he really?
Yeah.
You know, Gene can be a little touch and go sometimes.
But Gene relishes in being an asshole.
He does.
What was he your business partner in?
No Good TV.
Oh, he was one of the people involved.
He was.
That's awesome.
I imagine he never flirted with you.
No. It's just part of his DNA.
It really is.
Yeah.
But
Is he good at it though? Because he is Gene Simmons. So
well, that's the thing is I wonder sometimes how much he was actually. Is he actually like a real ladies' man, or did women just flock to him because he's Gene Simmons, the demon, and like everybody loves swagger and everybody loves like a confident musician, and so how much was he getting of those 4,000 women he was banging? Like, how much of that was purely because he had a bass in his?
Well, he wasn't fucking when he was a math teacher in Queens. I guarantee you, when he was teaching math in Queens, he was not getting away
But
with
if
it.
my math teacher spit blood out during class, totally banging him.
So what was your determination after you got to know him?
He's always been really good to me. And
was he a good ladies' man, or was it because he was...
I'm still lost because now like he's getting older and older. Now he's married. Like everything's changed, and so it's hard to really gauge if. And plus, by the way, I watched him interact with a lot of different women, whether we were working with them or just people would come up and be like, "Oh my God, Gene Simmons, I'm such a fan." He would always give people, whether it was a woman or a man, a story. Something to remember that exact moment, and it could have been the most misogynistic thing you've ever seen. Like he'll grab a girl's tits or whatever. She doesn't get mad because it's Gene Simmons. Now, is that swagger or is that because you're Gene Simmons?
That's enviable.
Yeah.
He's but one thing about Gene that's funny, and I've mentioned this before, he's a tremendously patriotic guy. Like he fucking loves the United States.
He loves America.
Loves America because when he came here as a kid, his mother was in a concentration camp. He has an amazing story. Like there was a Dan Rather interview, which was great that he did. And anyone who doesn't like Gene Simmons should watch that. And it's like that seems like that's who the real guy is.
Right.
Behind all the fucking I'm in Kiss stuff. And he's very likable.
You think is he very likable, or does he just have an interesting story?
No, but in that he's very humble.
Well, he's relatable in a weird way. It's you see him differently than that larger than life thing that you see on.
Yeah, you just see a fucking guy who cares about his mom, and he's very very likable in that interview.
I love my mom too. Does anybody not love that? Doesn't that give me some credibility?
Yeah, I guess you're likable too. That must be why you're likable,
right?
So is the book more?
My grandmother just turned 99, by the way.
She's alive?
She's alive.
That's amazing. Well, no, what a fucking terrible story that'd be if she was dead for 7 years.
Yeah, my grandmother just turned 99. She's been in a graveyard for
Yeah, exactly.
But cool, she's 99. No, my great grandmother, her mother.
What'd you get her for her birthday?
Love.
Oh, okay.
She's got a little bit of dementia right now, so she wouldn't remember anyway.
Does she know who you are?
Sometimes.
Oh, but hey, even sometimes is not bad when you're 99.
Yeah, no, it's great. But my great grandmother died when she was 105. My grandmother now is 99. I feel like I'm going to be around for a while.
Good
you guys are stuck with me.
That's great. Nice long life. But 99 is fucking. You got to make it one more year to make 100.
Right?
You have to.
She's gonna.
How about your mom? Your mom alive?
Yeah, everybody's alive.
Okay.
Well, sorry, my other two grandparents have passed, but everybody in the immediate family.
But the women live. Are the men dying early or the women?
Funny enough, both grandfathers. Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting.
That's right.
Yeah.
The Keegan women are driving them to early grave.
They are. They're driving them fucking crazy.
They were lucky to have what they got.
They're driving them
But
nuts.
that's a good sign for you, though, if the women have longevity in your family.
That just means 72 more books.
So are you excited for Celebrity Apprentice?
Yeah,
For people
I'm
to
excited
see it?
for everyone to see it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be cool.
What are you?
Plus, I'm excited to see everybody on the cast again.
Oh yeah, because you got to do. Have you done the finale?
No.
Or is that done live?
Well, they usually do it live. I'm
So
not sure how they're doing it.
So
yet.
you don't know. So the Celebrity Apprentice has not yet been named. Do you know who the final two are?
Oh yeah, no, nobody knows.
But nobody. That hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, no.
Huh. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm also looking forward to everybody going out and getting Everybody Curses, I Swear. You can pre-order it on Amazon now. So if you want to, it comes out January 10th. You pre-order it now. What you could do, here's what you do.
You could pre-order the shit out of it.
You could pre-order the shit out of it, and then on Christmas be like, I pre-ordered you this book.
I love that
So
idea.
it's still a great Christmas gift.
I'm gonna pre-order all of them for you guys. I'm gonna give them gifts for stocking stuffers
Yes.
for everyone.
Yes.
I love that.
And it's kind of a combination. It's your story of surviving in this business as well as the crazy interviews and stuff that you've been a part of.
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything. A little bit of my potty mouth depravity.
I love it.
Good.
I love it.
And we have to wrap up?
We do. That's the end of the show.
I'll be in Melrose Friday night at the Improv, Hollywood Improv here in L.A., and then just go to my site for a bunch of other gigs in Fort Lauderdale, Saratoga Springs, Hartford, all leading up to the special.
That's right. We will be back here live at 11 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. We'll be in this time slot, 11 a.m. Eastern to whatever it is in New York, 2 p.m., I guess?
11 to 2.
Every day this week.
This week only. And tomorrow morning will be a replay of today's show in the spot, I think.
And by the way, today's show was incredible. So
It
you'll
really
enjoy
was.
very
I
much.
mean, we had a lot of new LA running joke is really fun. I'll keep that going.
You didn't try any of them with Carrie.
I didn't think of it.
Well, now I feel left out.
No, I was just doing stuff about making observations about LA.
It was just weird, like walking around. So you were at the Halloween parade last night,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It was interesting, like seeing the people on the street dressed up in their Halloween costumes in LA.
All crazy, right?
It was amazing.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
It's my favorite part. And that's just a Tuesday.
In LA. I tagged. That's how it works, Sam.
It's perfect. It's perfect. Thank you, Carrie.
Thank you. And just remember, you're going to get 500 different celebrities and like over 1,100 different curse words in Everybody Curses, I swear.
There's 500 celebrities
500
in this book?
celebrities.
The fact that you picked up, by the way, if you could see what Sam just said that and then picked the book up.
Yeah.
Like, if
Made me
they're all
very
just going
angry.
to affect you, right? Osmosis.
No, but that was actually a really good plug.
Yeah.
But I didn't like it, though, because we're not on late night TV.
What do you mean?
You could just say 500 celebrities. You actually picked up the book and
Well, I am trying. I'm in the moment.
Thank you, Jay Leno.
We'll see. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
Fucking Teft misses cue.
He is.
You're
You missed-
fired, Teft.
You missed your cue.
This has been Shit with Sam Roberts. To download.